Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk,
Taking
where we have unfiltered, uncensored, uncomfortable conversation.
All right, welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Let me go ahead and introduce the panel that we have today. We got Quan, we got Maya, and of course, I'm Jay Luke. All right, man. First of all, did you change your office? Smith's daddy, because you're on mute. Still on mute.
I say yeah a little bit. I turned my desk a little bit, cleared some stuff out. New year, new me, new attitude.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Well, first of all, you already know how we do it. I want to try to get all the updates, things that have been going on with you, and anything that's going on in the music and band world community. All right, so come on, go ahead and hit it first, young brother.
A lot's been going on. First of all, shout out to the new director of bands at Morgan State University. Peace be unto him. First of all, I know that's some big shoes to fill. At Morgan State, they had a band director there, I think for maybe 20 plus years. So that's something hard to follow. So, big shout out to him. I'm excited about the Battle of the Bands that is coming up, the Pepsi Battle of the Bands, which we all will be at. You too, Maya. Your ticket already paid for. It's already paid.
Smiths. I guess the new office turning around didn't help out with the internet. So yeah, you on mute too, man. I can't hear you. But I did want to actually say that, man. Shout out to brother Dr. Jordan Reed, the new director of bands at Morgan State University. I know Quan has kind of already said it, but it's really dope to see that announcement and see that happening. And
I've been going to Prairie View the last bro.
You was frozen for about a good minute.
Oh damn. Okay, so let me go back. So I said, so first of all, shout out to the gentleman that is the doctor that is the new band director at Morgan State.
We heard that.
Okay,
part.
Cool. Second thing I say, I'm excited, Maya. You will be at the Battle of the Bands. Your ticket is already purchased. It's already done. Yours too, Luke. We got you in that thing. Shout out to like I said, DCI's this Friday. I'm excited about that, to hit up the lot. Justin, if you're in town, let's grab a bite to eat before, bro. I'm trying to see how I could finagle band practice because I'll need to find out what time the lot start. But outside of that, myself, we're in band camp. Shout out to Chuck and all of the band directors that are in band camp right now. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to the staff at Prairie View. I went and visited them this last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And freshman class, a few shows back, we were talking about glazing, right? And different things like that. And what I'm thankful to see now as I've matured as a band director, that shit really don't even matter in the end. Like, you can truly treat people with respect and have expectations and have that expectation of greatness and have those students meet it with zeal like none other, because you treat them like a human being in respect. Like, you don't have to put your hands on nobody. And maybe I'm wrong. When you come up at that time frame that we came up, we thought, well, that's the rite of passage. I realized that rite of passage was wrong. And the energy that's with those freshmen, the way they move, the way they have respect, like they move like a well-oiled machine. And I know that took some time. So shout out to Dr. Zachary to get that type of rapport. And it's just a family environment. And I've learned so much that I've taken from them those 3 days, implemented in my band program in 3 days. And I have a different band in 3 days than I had initially. So I'm just excited, man, for this year. I have a new energy. My band is pushing, even though we don't have a feeder prep program like that. I'm slowly getting kids more and more. We're getting excited about our performance at the NFL Hall of Fame, which will be August 6th in Canton, Ohio. And I do plan on visiting Tennessee State. So if anybody has the information to the band director at Tennessee State, please share that with me. I want to make sure that my kids be able to see that university. I know at one point somebody said, "Oh, y'all don't shout out Tennessee State." Yeah, we do. They're a great band, and we always shout them out. But I want to actually have my kids actually go on campus. Also, if you have any information to the band director or director of bands for Central State, I also want them to visit that as well. So it's just a lot going on, man. It's a good time.
Man, that's super dope, man. You got a lot, man, and yeah, I will be at DCI Denton tomorrow. So I will be there tomorrow. So I'm going to meet up with Rick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do some recording, do some videos. I'm not going to go live. It was my intent to go live, but I saw what happened when we went live at the Mass Band joint. So I'm still trying to work some stuff out with going live, but I'm going to actually get some videos and stuff like that and do some recording, and I'll be uploading that to Instagram. We'll talk about the other social media platform in a second. I'm gonna give Maya a chance. So Maya, you go ahead. What you got?
I'm confused. Which battle bands we talking about? The one in August? Which one were you talking about, Quan?
Yes. So
okay,
that one, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I screenshotted something so I can remember to talk about it, but I can't find it. So yeah.
Was that guy's way of saying you probably ain't need to talk about it? What was it? Let me ask you that question.
I don't remember.
Smith.
So like whenever, like after we record, whenever I see something that's like music related or something that I want, like that triggers a thought, I try and screenshot it. But the thing is, I got 50,000 screenshots, and I've been scrolling here trying to find it, and I can't find it. So, in other news, I don't really know what's going on in the music world. Oh, 9 days to Beyonce. Praise God for Jesus.
What?
It's 9 days to Beyonce.
I'm not a Beyonce fan like that, so I haven't got nothing for you.
Well, for all those out there who are, 9 days, girls and guys.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm just gonna be honest. I think people have an unhealthy obsession with that young lady.
That's fair.
So that's why I'm
the only one.
Huh?
People have unhealthy obsessions with a lot of people.
I absolutely agree. Unless it is your higher power. Other than that, I don't understand why people have unhealthy obsessions with people and or band programs. We ain't gonna talk about that. So yeah, man. So I guess for Maya's sake, yay for Beyonce. There we go. I hope that made your day, and hopefully you find that screenshot, because I'm because my brain is moving now. I'm curious as to exactly what that was.
Yeah.
Well, while she's go ahead. You good, Quan? Are you about to say something?
I'm about to say I ran 6 laps today, with my students.
Congratulations,
bro.
Right.
In that heat, though.
In that heat. I'm a servant leader. My kids, they was calling me out. They was like, "Mr. Mitchell, you be standing to the side and fussing." I say, you know what? I'm gonna get out here. Man, I ran them laps. By lap 3, I was like Lil Wayne on that meme talking about woo.
That's my favorite.
Woo! I'm talking about I was sweating depression. I was sweating crawfish loaf. I was mad.
I don't know if I want to sweat that loaf out yet.
Bruh. But I did it though. I hit them 6 laps, and actually I said if I lap you, you got to do 2 more. So I lapped 4 kids, and they had ended up doing 4 more, but I ran them 4 with them. So I'm gonna keep doing it every day, man.
Well, I'll tell you this. Whenever here's a fun fact. For a while, I was the PT person for a lot of the bands that I was teaching. So when I was in Beaumont, I was the PT person for that. When I came down here to Dallas, obviously I was the head band director, but I was also the PT person for that. So I had developed a thing where I'd never ask my students to do something unless I was willing to do it. So you doing that is good because they want to actually see you be active too. I've never been that guy who would sit on the sideline and yell at the kids, even when I was teaching in the Virgin Islands. My Virgin Island students know I would get out there and run with them. I would yell while I was running, but I would run with them because I think that's just I think that needs to be part of what you do. Sitting on the sidelines and yelling, and they like, man, why don't you do it? You can't do it. I'd be like, all right, fine, I can. And then I used to get out there and do it. Now, in all fairness, Maya remembers me when I was a little bit more smaller. Because when I started at PV, and then maybe about my second or third year, I had dropped a lot of inches. So it was easier for me to get out and do that back then. I don't know about now. I don't know. We can probably revisit that at some point. But I will say this, man. First of all, shout out to all the new followers and subscribers that we have. Subscribers went up, man. I am super excited about that. One of the things that I was excited for is our numbers on TikTok were really going up. They were climbing. Unfortunately, something happened. I guess someone reported our page or something, and they hit us with the Smiths daddy. So I real quick, I woke up, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it was yesterday though. I woke up to check the analytics on TikTok, and all of a sudden I couldn't log into the Real Talk That Talk page. And then it said it had been locked for whatever reason. And then my wife went to go check to see if it was still, you can still pull it up, and you can't pull it up. It doesn't even exist. So for some reason, TikTok has pulled that down. I'm assuming that there was a quote unquote complaint. I don't know why, but we're working in the process of right now rectifying that because there was a lot of good content that was going up on there, and if need be, we will just create another one and put the same content back up. But yeah, shout out to all the new followers and subscribers that we had here on the YouTube channel, as well as the TikTok page that we did have. So we'll be back on TikTok very soon. All right. Maya, you find it, or you still searching? You still okay, you ain't find it. All right. So this episode today is very near and dear to my heart because of the fact that this will be the last episode before we go on break. What I'm going to do too is I'm going to post the link inside of the chat, and I'm gonna pin it. So anybody who wants to come in, give their thoughts, ask. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it up too, and any of the topics that we ever talked about that you want to try to get in on, you can ask them questions right now. I'm gonna give y'all free reign to go ahead and do whatever it is y'all need to do. But we do have topics as well, so I want to go ahead and get to these topics. So let's do it the right way. Let's start it right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Man, y'all go ahead and smash that like daddy as soon as you walk into the room. Don't be late on smashing that like daddy. Smash it right now. All right. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passioneers Network and turn on your notifications because every time we post something, your notifications will go off. When I post, I make sure I upload a lot. So turn them notifications on, and this episode will be up tomorrow on all your podcast networks. Just type in Real Talk That Talk, except on Apple Podcasts, where you can just type in Talk That Talk. I don't know what Ma's listening to, but she's grooving over there. All right. Oh, I also do need to say this. National Battle of the Bands, we are having a meetup. I'm going to make sure I put that information out there as well. And I had a venue, but I'm changing the venue after talking to Rick today. So I'm changing that venue because there's a spot that we need to hit up that I think is like super dope. And so we need to hit that up. All right, here we go. First topic of the night. What do you feel was our most controversial topic? What do you feel was our most controversial topic?
Anything that had to do with Southern.
Our mass band.
Southern Mass Band.
And that, yeah.
My mass band.
So I'm gonna tell you like this. Just you know, like I said, I try to watch the analytics as much as I possibly can. Both of y'all are absolutely right. The first Southern video, right? The first Southern video that we ever did, and the one that we talked about Southern the most, if I remember it correctly, that episode was called something about "Are They the Kings" or something like that. Are they truly the Kings? Something like that. That was the most viewed video that we had since our first episode. And then the one after that was the mass band joint, that first mass band conversation that we had. That wasn't even really a mass band conversation. It just happened to talk about mass band in that joint. Michael, here's my question. Why are those two things the hot topics of what we do? Like, why is that like the biggest hot button topic?
Because it revolves around ignorance. Like, when I say ignorance, I don't mean ignorance in the definition of not knowing something. Ignorance in terms of ignorant, like black y'all blacks love it. Y'all love it. Anything that's like, woo, child, I think this, or anything that goes against the grain, of course it's gonna be controversial. Anything that's not, I mean, because we didn't necessarily agree, or we didn't say what is the booming voice of the masses, or what people typically go for, or what they think is true. So anytime that you disrespect that, or you say something against it, the people they have an issue with it.
Man, you know, that takes me back to one of the episodes where I think that we really got a chance to see Maya.
What that mean?
Cause the first matter of fact, I'll do this. I will do this.
No,
I'm pulling it up.
Don't need any footage.
No, I'm pulling it up. Hey, look, I got the receipts. I'm gonna show you.
Listen, I can do it right now. Hello, hi, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's all it was. That's all it was.
No. So I gotta pull this up, and the only reason I'm pulling this
I'm embarrassed.
You own the show, dang it, every week. Why are you embarrassed now?
I'm very easily embarrassed, and I definitely have secondhand embarrassment.
Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna show it though. Just cover your eyes. How about that? All right, but I gotta show this. The first episode, our very first episode. So here's another fun fact for those of you guys who are new, and those of y'all who have been watching from the beginning. Originally, it was 6 of us, and Quan wasn't part of the 6. So if you didn't know, Quan was not an original cast member.
Second string. No.
Nah, I was just that final 7, Jewel 7. That's all.
Well, it was originally 6, but it didn't it ended up being 5. So
where's Ken? To this day, where's Ken?
That's a good question.
So this is the original. First of all, that's the original logo. That's the original logo. Now the original logo was trash. All right, let's just,
we didn't glowed up. Look at us.
Let's just call it what it is, right? look at all. Oh my gosh, the countdown was garbage. But that's not what I want to pay attention to. This is what I want to pay attention to. As soon as we came in the door, it was rough. Here we go. So this is us coming in the door.
This is embarrassing.
Your hair looks great.
Thank you.
And you can tell that's yours.
Right.
Like that's yours.
That is my hair.
There we go. Y'all good?
Wet and wavy.
Season's greetings, homies. I can't hear you.
Rick got that weak ass part. That Nino Brown part.
Can you guys hear each other? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
So we are. All right, you good?
No. I'm sorry.
Smiths. I can't hear nothing.
Hold up.
Can you hear me, Julian?
No, I can hear you.
That was the recording. Can you hear me?
There we go. There you go.
Okay, I was trying to use my mic, but let me see if I can adjust it. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I
can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can everybody hear everybody? First of all, let's get that.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, we good. Can y'all hear me?
Good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Season's greetings, homie. So what's going on? What's good, young fella?
So let me go ahead and start.
Look,
off,
that's how terrible. That's how terrible we were at the beginning. Completely, we were rough. We were absolutely rough. See, there wasn't nothing to be embarrassed about, Maya.
Yeah.
Why?
The best is yet to come. I feel like you got something in the arsenal that you're ready to pull out.
I don't. I really don't.
Okay,
I was actually gonna pull up the one part when you came out in your bag, and you was like, "Is water wet? Hell yeah!" That I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
No, is that the same episode?
Now I got to go and pull it up. I got to pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up on the cut though. I ain't gonna pull it up on that full episode.
Okay.
But yeah. So as you could tell, we have come a very, very long way. Once again, it was 6 of us originally. The original joint started out as 6 of us, and then it went down to 5. So that is a fun fact. But somebody said in the comments, glazing was a controversial topic. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. Quan, would you agree with that?
But like when we said anything about Southern University, and the thing about it is we was complimenting them, but people heard Southern and was like, oh hell nah, like they was ready. We said anything about Mass Band, oh you must, they was ready, and they didn't truly listen to the full, video clip, and people went off assumptions because people. Let's be honest. One thing that I said on this show, what I've realized is it's about culture and it's about things that are trendy. Nobody truly has identity anymore. And so when we mentioned Southern, when we mentioned Mass Bang, it was an issue. That was we laughed about, hazing and stuff like that, or glazing. But when we spoke about Southern and Mass Bang, that was the biggest deal.
That glazing episode, though, I will say that glazing episode was hilarious. I think we laughed most of the time. We were trying to be serious, but we were laughing that whole daggone time. Oh man. All right. I just pinned the link to the chat. So if you guys want to come in and ask questions or come back to any of the old episodes that we talked about, come to all of that stuff. Y'all are free to do that, man. Even just saying, man, we appreciate the channel and all that kind of stuff that you're doing. We are welcoming all of that today, man. So the link is in the chat. You are free to do that. All right, let me go to the next topic because the next topic is going to be a little bit more meat to it. So welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. Man, y'all go ahead and smash that like, daddy. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passioneers Network and turn on your notifications. All right, here we go. While Quan is probably dealing with some chilling. No, you good. Do you feel like you've grown or progressed during this time? Do you feel like you've grown or progressed during this time, Maya?
Like during the show itself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think just in terms of being comfortable, social anxiety, willingness to just express yourself and being able to say like, hey, I mean, this is my opinion. Everyone has one. It's just up to us and up to everyone to be able to back yourself up or know why you feel the way that you feel. But absolutely, I think that I've definitely grown. I think I feel a little bit more confident just in myself as a bandsman or in myself as who I am today, my legacy, what I did, and being a little bit more stable and standing in that and saying that I'm here for a reason. And that also, like, it's okay for, it's okay to be celebrated. It's okay to have support. It's okay to, feel, like you did something. Because, at one point you and I have talked about that was something that has always been something that has been very difficult for me. But aside from that, just being able to like hop on and say, well, this is how I feel. Whether, you look like the left end of the spectrum or the right end of the spectrum, however you're feeling or what have you. But I mean, it's just an overall social communication. Yeah, I think it's definitely been a progression for sure.
And that's super dope. I can tell, first coming on versus you now has completely changed. You have become a lot more relaxed. When you first got here, it was like, I'm trying to be super professional and blah blah blah. And I'll be like, man, y'all just relax. But no, I can definitely tell there has been a change. All right, Quan, what about you, brother?
Do you feel like you've grown or progressed? Absolutely. One of the reasons why you mean to the show or just
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. In regards to the show, absolutely, because I feel that we're a community of people that, first of all, we have a respect for each other. First of all, we have a respect for our experiences. Number two, and we have a respect for the craft of dance, of music, and fine arts overall. There's many times where many of us have but we've agreed to disagree, but that doesn't cross the lines of disrespect. There are certain things that we was like, for example, like when me and Luke was in New Orleans, I was like, man, I'm gonna go with Georgia Mass Band. I feel like they won. And he was like, nah, I have to stand on my own. But New Orleans, he felt like had a complete sound. Well, we agreed to disagree, but that was on a specific topic. But we wouldn't like, well, F you, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't like that. It was like, that's your opinion. I respect that point of view. I didn't think about it like that. But I can't deny the low brass for Georgia, which I feel like pushed them over, including their arrangements. Like, it's things like that. So for me, every Wednesday for Quan, this is a professional development. Like, I'm growing as a musician. That how many times after when we've had time, I'm like, hey, Rick, what about this technique? Or Luke, what about this technique? And I think we've grown as friends, honestly, through it, learning each other's struggles as well. Like, people don't know, like, Luke is my private lesson person that I'm gonna use for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? You got to use your people. And so I've grown as a musician, and honestly, due to the avenues of Rick and Luke, knowing Dr. LaToya well, I was able to go to UT to the conducting workshop. Because of them, I was able to like hit up the lot, and do different techniques, or honestly, even have access to at times Miss Shawn, who's a great teacher, as well as Dr. Zachary and Erica Menez, and Prof. Hopkins. I've had private conversation with Dr. Sanford, about arranging and different things like that. So because of this show, I've been blessed to where my avenue and my what's the word? And the church would say my territory has been increased due to the fact of this show. So I'm blessed. That's why I really kind of be sad when I'm not on the show. In the last 2 weeks, I've just been busy doing other organizational stuff, but that's not a day that when Luke posted, I go back and listen. Or even as a speaker, I go back and listen. I'll be like, you know what? My ADD kicking in because I'm trying to make a point, but I'm stopping myself and then I'm fixing something else. So even as just a talking point, I'm improving in that as well. So I'm improving in all aspects, man. So I love the show. You can't put me off.
Man.
Well, hey, that's another thing that's grown too, man. These daggone sound bites that I got. But I will say this. I will say that I've grown because there's a bias that I had coming into it. Because I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I was biased. There were things that I liked, and there was things I wasn't trying to take a chance on. But some of the conversations that we've had helped me to not be so biased, to give other things and opportunities to other situations, man, which was the thing that prompted me to go check out the mass band situation. Because I'm gonna be on average, I wouldn't have done it had I not, made the decision to be on the show, had I not started this whole process. I probably wouldn't have ever done it, but because of the fact that we've had the conversations, because of the fact of people like Justin who came in and who continues to fight for things like that and tells their side of the story, Deontay who comes in and who came in and told his side of the story, just the many conversations that we've had. Because of that, it gave me a reason to open my eyes more to try to accept or at least look at other things and not be so biased towards those particular avenues. And then one thing I really hope too is that the audience and all the listeners and people who go back and watch it feel the same. One of the things that I find super, super cool is that as I'm looking at these analytics, man, I'm watching people comment after we've had the show 2 and 3 days after, because they feel like their voices need to be heard. And I feel like that's super dope for everybody. Everybody needs to be able to have a voice. And that was one of the reasons why I felt it was necessary not only to start the show, but to start the channel, the Passion Is Network. You know, the Passion Is Network, there's a lot to Passion Is, but in the YouTube space and what we're doing right now, I want to make it a movement. I don't want to just make it just, you know, what we're doing here. I want us to be able to come together and collaborate and grow and have conversations that we may be having amongst each other, you know, outside, but we are not bringing it to a space to where everybody can hear it. So I definitely feel like it's super dope that you know, that we have these discussions and that you all and myself included have grown from this. So yeah, I think that's super dope. I wanted to bring this clip in here. The first time I saw Maya ever get in her bag, and she ain't really like go super hard, but it was the first time that I actually felt like, all right, now we're getting Maya, because if I'm not gonna go to the previous videos of her, but what I will say is she came out a little bit more on the previous episode of Talk That Talk.
Once again, the question is, have videography platforms
There's Ken
made harder? Maya, go.
Is water wet? Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, you got people like Symbolistic. You got people like The Edge that are uploading literally in real time if they're not even doing a live stream. Like I'm trying to sit on the field uploading stuff as they're recording it or as it's coming out. So absolutely, the level of scrutiny, the platform, the audience itself, you're subjective. These people who are in these and like I said, I'm just glad I'm not marching currently because I don't even know if I'd be able to deal with it. Coming from a dancing auxiliary point of view, I mean the level in which what do you call that? What the level in which you have to perform and put on a show, it's like a death sentence, right? You just literally walk in and to get your head chopped off because as soon as you do it, it's already up on discussion boards. People already have started that negativity or started their opinions or what have you, and it's going to catch on like wildfire. So you don't even have a chance for, you know, to have a valid opinion because as soon as it's out there, it's already being scrutinized, it's already being talked about, and it's already up in the air. So yeah, how can you reinvent when you don't even, you work a week or 2 weeks for one show, you did one show 10 minutes later, it's already out there and it's already old news. Hell yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. It may be.
You could have said.
Yeah. So yeah, Maya. See, and I think what happened on that episode, on that particular conversation, we really got into something that you felt personal about.
Yeah.
And so you was like, look, I'm gonna say what I need to say. It wasn't well, I think it's a cyclical thing, you know, like you always try to do. You know what I'm saying? So
some things are cyclical, but yeah, I was like, I mean, you know, for sure, I felt away because I put myself right back there in their shoes, and I think I felt those feelings all over again. So yeah,
that's super dope. And Quan, you weren't even a panelist on that show; you were a guest that night.
Yes, yeah.
You were a guest that. I'm gonna tell y'all how Quan ended up being a panelist on the show. Quan ended up being a panelist on the show because he kept coming in as a guest and his responses were so cool. I called Rick because I usually typically the show first starts, and even now I call Rick and I just ask him, I'm like, yo, what do you think about this? So I called Rick and I'm like, yo, Rick, what do you think about Quan? And I was like, you think we should go ahead and make him a part of the panel? He was like, bro, I already thought he was a part of the panels. So I was like, oh, well, I guess that's a done deal. So that's how we ended up getting Quan on the show. But on that episode, Quan was actually a guest and Ken was there.
First and last time.
No, Ken was on there twice.
Oh, that was my last time seeing him.
Yeah, he had been on there twice. So
remember we saw the fan and we was like, bro, what is going on? We saw the box fan in the back. We was like, bro, what is going on?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's a moment of truth here. On that episode, I didn't even see it. I was doing something else. Y'all busted out and started laughing, and I was like, "What are y'all laughing about?" And then, yeah. So y'all said it. I just was like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna keep acting like I did. So yeah, man. If you're hey Crystal, what's going on? What's up, Chuck? If you guys are in the chat right now, man, and you have any thoughts or anything you want to get up, you want to come in and just talk about anything that, once again, any episode that you want to just bring back up, any thoughts that you have on the show, or anything that you want to talk about as the topics, like what we have right now. Do you feel like you've grown or progressed during this time? Come in and talk about it. I know there are a lot of people who have gotten some different insight from just watching the show or some different points of view. So yeah, man, just feel free to come in, chop it up with us, man, and let's just have this conversation. All right. Oh, you got
it. So I do want to say this, and you got to give people their roses, while they can smell it. I truly am thankful for like big sister Crystal. I'm not gonna much lie. Crystal is the person that real talk. She that A&T. I'm gonna take it back to the city where I'm from. Like Crystal at A&T is like, she'll give you the last piece of peach cobbler, but don't play with her. You know what I'm saying? Like she 10 toes down, and she mean what she say, and she say what she mean. You know what I'm saying? And she's opened so many like point of views from a woman perspective in this dominated, real talk, we're gonna call it what it is, misogynistic banned world that it could be. And was like, bro, we really out here working. We really out here doing our thing. We really out here, you know what I'm saying, like grinding. Like people don't know. I've met Crystal because of my mentor, Daryl Williams, was like, hey, there's this writer. Her name is Crystal, and she's dope. You want to improve on your writing, hit her up. And I hit her up and I sent her an arrangement of Lift Every Voice. Now, I ain't gonna lie. She sent it back. I felt like XX, red mark, no, fix this. And I was like, damn, that is fire. And she sent me, I think her arrangement was Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And I said, why college band's not playing this? You know what I'm saying? But when over time from her shows and whatnot that she explained the things that a female director goes through, I was like, damn, I had no clue. You know what I'm saying? So even as a Black male, now I'm cognizant of making sure that I put a woman composer on my programs. I'm cognizant of real talk, making sure that my band students know who Dr. Roebuck is, knowing who Dr. Tamisha Prock Bryce is, knowing who I can't recall the name of she was the director at the time of Mississippi Valley, but Miss Stephanie. Like these are goats, but that are unsung heroes that we don't speak about, that we need to bring them to the forefront as well. And I just appreciate like just her point of view, because sometimes as men, all we could do is think about the world from a man perspective, but she gives us that duality that we actually need. And then my dog Chuck, real talk, like Chuck inspires me, like real talk. And he's one guy, double frat, but he's one guy that at the end of the day, when I see him move, like he's the definition, in my opinion, of real G's move in silence. Like for real. Like Chuck be doing things people don't even know, but it's great. Conducting at the consortium, him doing arrangements. He did the review of the Battle of the Bands that we went to, Luke, on that Sunday. he did the camp that he did recently with those collegiate band directors. Like he's doing great things, man. So I think also this show, Julian, and shout out to you for God giving you this vision to even start the show, that the people that's truly doing the work, God is going to increase their territory and make room for their gifts too, because we are the minority that are not the band heads. We are the music educators where, like I always speak about infrastructure. We are the music educators where it's like Southern is great, but there are other great bands too. And you can have an acquired taste for Norfolk if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? So this show, honestly, is a blessing to so many people and so many, so many young educators. When I went to Langston with my students, a guy that was a music educator said, bro, y'all be talking that real on that show about stuff I don't even know that I'm about to walk into. I didn't know I had to build a band program from scratch. I was like, shit, hell yeah. He was like, man, I thought I was just going to graduate, got my arrangements. I was like, nah, you got to build. One dude that's a percussionist, he was like, well, I'm going to just give me a drum line. I said, aren't you a music major? He was like, yeah. I said, man, you better pick up a goddamn horn. Like, they were quoting things from the show. Like, damn, I didn't think about that. When Rick challenged people and was like, you need to use your dancers and flags in a better way for pageantry. Man, this show a blessing, bro. And it's a lot of great people out here, man. That's all.
Definitely. And I want to do a couple of things real quick. I do want to talk about Crystal very quickly. I would not have known about Crystal if it wasn't for you. Because yeah. So the funny thing is, you were posting Crystal on your Facebook page, and she would, like Crystal always does, she always has her videos where she goes and she just talks about the things that she's experienced and all that. And I watched her video. I was like, yo, she's pretty dope. And so I think if I remember correctly, I think I reached out to her and I was like, yo, stop by the show, blah, blah, blah. And ever since then, man, she has been like 100. Crystal is like super dope. She's like, because I mean, she is older than me, but I don't really look at it that way. But she's like big sister, it got all the knowledge in the world, man. And that's why I was like, yo, you think you want to do a show? You want to add a show to this?
Did you see her post yesterday on the rubber band?
Yeah, I saw that.
But come on.
And she was like, yeah, do you want like female, host on the show? I was like, yeah, I was gonna hit you up. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to Crystal. She was just trying to come into the room. I wasn't ignoring you, Crystal. I think you froze though. So just come on back in the room, and I'll get you in there. Man, once again, shout out to Chuck. Chuck is like, Chuck move in silence, 100%. There's not enough I can say about Chuck. Chuck stay on. Like he's like, hey man, I may be late, but I'm here. But I do want to get to Joseph's question first. This is the first time I'm actually going to ask questions from the chat too. How often do you reminisce on your old marching videos or moments? I actually do that quite often. I know that sounds weird, man. I'm about to be dang near 40 years old. But I do. I think every year I will go back and watch not an episode, but I will watch Willow Ridge 98, 99 Battle of the Bands. I will watch that at least once every year. Don't say nothing.
Astrodome?
Huh?
And no, that's the one at Astrodome.
97 was the Astrodome. 98, 99 was the one at what's the field at
Delmore?
U of H field, Robinson.
Okay.
Robinson Stadium. But I will watch that at least once every year. When it comes to the Norfolk years, I mean, there's so many situations. I will watch the A&T battle from 2000. No, not battle, but A&T game field show from 2002. Sorry, Chuck, we smashed on y'all. I will go back and watch the Honda, obviously 07 Honda. I will go back and watch what was it? The Battle Fest 05. Was it 04? No, Battlefest 04. And the only reason why I watched that one is because, quick story about me, I crossed in 2004, fall 04. Battlefest 04 was the craziest thing I had ever experienced in my life. And the reason why is because I crossed that Saturday night, and for KK that morning we had homecoming parade. So we had all the alumni bros at my crossing. Then, and Morgan was there too. It was Iota's Eye, it was Morgan, and I forgot who else was there. And then that morning we had the homecoming parade, and that's when I met Melvin Miles for the first time, and I got to grip him up that day. And then we had the game, we had all of that, and then that Sunday we had Battlefest. So at Battlefest, I'm fresh. I ain't probated. I ain't did nothing. I done crossed over, but I'm meeting all these bros from KK that I had never met before. And while all the people in the band and the Legion still in the stands, the frat was like, "Yo, let's go down under the bleachers." So all KK left the stands, and I'm like, "Shoot, we get to lead the stands now!" Oh shit! So yeah, that's the only reason why I still watch 04 Battlefest. So yeah, I do go back and I look at those. Let's bring Crystal in. Crystal, listen, Crystal. Before I bring Crystal in, I'm gonna say this: Crystal has been living her best life. She has been showing us every single outfit that she had. I'm like, Crystal, are you trying to get on a modeling circuit or something, girl? So let's bring Crystal in real quick. What's going on, sis?
Hey, what's up, fam?
What's up?
I'm still drying off of the pool. So one, I love clothes. If anybody know anything about me, I love clothes. I spend all my husband's money, my money too. I spend everybody's money in the house on clothes, especially because Amazon is so faithful. Oh my God, faithful is an understatement. Amazon got your back as long as you got the dollars. So y'all gotta get these outfits. If anybody know anything, my mother was very fashionable, so I try to live that side of me because she was very big on outside appearance being an expression of what you feel on the inside. And I know it's not necessarily superficial in a sense. It's just, loving the body that you in. God only gave you one. And so, you should be happy in it. Man, y'all was about to make me cry. I ain't even that tight, Quan. Just trying to make me cry. It's real funny because I kept talking about I'm gonna do a podcast. I kept saying it. I was like, I'm gonna do a podcast. Man, you gotta be careful what you say out the mouth because gotta make that joint happen, whether you wanted to or not, or you really ready for it. So when when Jay you reached out, I was like, oh shit, God, for real? Like now? Ain't nobody listening to me. So it's just funny, but it all started from like a New Year's resolution. I said that if anybody know anything about me, I'm very quiet. Actually, I'm a introvert. I was introverted in high school. I was introverted most of college. So, and I'm still an introvert. So for me to even have a platform to speak on or even be invited to talk is very surreal to me. It's very strange because I'm such a homebody introvert. So one, I wanted to personally thank you, Jay, for putting the sister on, because all of the things that you hear sometimes women say that Black men don't support them, they don't care about what we do or how our struggles are. You put all of those stereotypes to rest. You really do. You open up your platform for whoever is willing to share their opinion, whether you agree or not, and that's commendable in a sense. And I think we need more platforms where we can have differences of opinions and people not be ready to call your mama a hoe, because it seemed like we only know one way. We only know like the extremes, like, oh, it's either uncut or it's like flowers, but we don't have an in between. And I think you serve as a very good in between and a true journalist. Morgan stays big on journalism, and one thing about journalism is you tell all sides of the story. Even with your prefaces, you still tell all sides of the story. And I just want to say thank you personally for putting the sister on. Quan, you my favorite little bra. I just wanted to say that. I did not rip your arrangement that bad. It wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that bad, y'all. I still have it.
What she told me, the first thing she said was, first, it's not bad. It needs some work. And I'm happy you wrote a percussion part. Now we got that out the way. Let's work on it. I was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, stop calling me ma'am. I have a military family. She's like, yes, ma'am. She's like, okay, cool. And then we got to know each other. She was telling me about like her husband is PMA and Fred. We've been cool ever since. What's crazy is that's why as individuals we have to be faithful to our craft, because our names be in rooms and places that we ain't even set foot in and that we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say Prof Williams, is like I've been knowing Prof Williams possibly since like 2014. And when I say he was like, bro, I know I could arrange and I think he's a great arranger. He was like, no, you need to contact Crystal, bro. I'm telling you, she gonna be on. And from that point on, when we became Facebook friends, and then because Crystal, I have a car podcast because it's Tuesday.
Yep.
It'd be a Tuesday. She'd be like, hey, y'all, this is what I realized. And it'll go an hour long. And I just be like, man, I got to go back to work. But, you know what I'm saying? Or she giving you a new clarinet Hank with the rubber bands. Or, she'd be like, well, we need to do this. Like, and it makes sense. And you're unapologetic for what you feel is right. We're like, you going down that hill. Like, and yeah. I respect that. And when you've gathered those band directors together, like when that was one of my favorite shows from director of a lady band director. Like I was like, damn, these are goats. Like these women have put years in, and it's a shame that we've never heard, because of course we put Dr. William P. Foster, Dr. Isaac Griggs on these pedestals. But what about those women that were pioneers of it? We don't speak about them, and that's an injustice. And as African Americans, we need to uplift everybody at this point because we need it from each other.
It's funny, Quan, you say something that me and my husband we've been saying for a while, is the Black people, we're at the point where we can't have like Black women are winning, Black men aren't winning, or Black men are winning in spite of Black women. Like we have been polarized so much. It's like really, really sad to me, because I have a kid and I don't want him to grow up in a world where he thinks that Black women hate Black men and Black men hate Black women. Like that's so ugly to me. But me and my husband, like, when are we gonna get to a point where whoever got the ball, we cheering? Like we're not at that point yet, and it's one of those things where I'm glad I get invited to platforms because I can be proud about me without shunning you. And I think social media, the bad side is we have a lot of people that feel like if it's not me, if I'm not shouting your name to the rooftops, then I'm talking down on you. And that's not it at all. Like you could be proud of what you do and still understand the struggles of somebody else at the same time. I think the world is dilatheism. And I keep shining it, it means that two things could be true at the same time and be opposing ideas. So I think your show is, I think Talk That Talk and the Passion Is Network is indicative of that you can bring somebody on the show and they say their truth and it is true to them and there's nothing wrong with it. And you can have an opposing idea and that be your truth too. And everybody walks away not feeling like somebody just put them down. So just shout out to the work that y'all have been doing. Maya be having me cracking up. Maya be going in. She don't take no prisoners. She don't let y'all bully her around. And it goes against the stereotype sometimes that people have of dancers. Like y'all don't know how to be strong or independent and have intelligent thought behind what you say. I'm like, the dancers went to college just like us, y'all. So I think you're very good, Jay, at picking panels where people are showing the best of the HBCU worlds and what we've gotten out of it and not the worst of it. Because there are a lot of podcasts that kind of milk the worst side of the culture instead of the best. So I said, can we stop using the word for the culture? But I think this is truly one of those places where it is fitting to say that this podcast is truly for the culture.
I appreciate you, Christian. You know I love you. You're super dope. I don't know if I can tell you that enough. Like you really are. And you know the bad thing, me ain't even met like face to face before, like ever. Like, but I feel so connected to you that, you know, when we do meet, I feel like it's just gonna be like family reunion. Like like we've been chopping it up for years. So, you know, I appreciate you. I will tell you that, you know, to the moon and back. So, you know, once again, I appreciate you. And Crystal, you're awesome. You're awesome. And she has a show on Sunday. The topic for her show is super dope. I'm not gonna tell you what the topic is, but it is super dope. When the joint comes up, I'm telling you guys, y'all need to blast it. The topic is super dope though.
Don't say nothing. Don't tell on me. I know how you get with the publicity. Just let this marinate just a little bit. Like drop it like on Friday. Cause we gonna go in.
I can't drop it. Well, I can drop it on Friday. I'll set it up to drop it on Friday.
Well, no, you can drop it. What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
You can drop it on Thursday. But just don't say nothing tonight.
Bet. I ain't gonna say nothing tonight. I got you.
All right.
All right. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Man, and one thing about me, if anybody really knows me, like, and I don't know if Maya remembers this, but like I can be like an introvert too. Like I don't talk much if I'm just sitting around people, I don't say much. You know, like during my time at PV, if you came to me and talked to me, I would have a full conversation with you. But if you didn't do that, I really wouldn't talk. Like if I was around Rick, me and Rick would talk. But other than that, I just wouldn't talk. So that's kind of how I am now. But if you know me, like I try to be super supportable. You know what I'm saying? As long as whatever you're doing is supportable. So I try to support as many people as I can, and I try to help as much as I can. So in this space, you know, it's completely honest what Crystal says. I'll tell you, if you come to me and you say, I want to do this on the show, I'm going to ask you, all right, well, what is it specifically that you want to do? What's your vision? And then once you tell me your vision, I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's see. Let's rock with it. You know, because I want to try to make sure everybody's voices is heard. That's my biggest goal. Because I know what it feels like. And I've been blessed to be in so many different spaces. I've been blessed to be at a university space. I've been blessed to be at a high school. I've been blessed to be at a middle school. I've been blessed to be at an underfunded situation. I've been blessed to be at a well-funded situation. I've been blessed to be at a charter school. So I've been at so many different areas, you know, even in the DCI space, that I've felt all these different effects in these different areas. And the blessing is that because I've felt those effects, I know where so many people are coming from. And there are so many people who have just not been able to tell their truth or been able to speak their piece, or just they feel like they've been silenced. And so that's why I believe that this platform, this Passion Is Network, is very, very valuable. And that's also why I felt like the need to start this specific space, because those conversations weren't being had. If podcast A and podcast B are just putting up a video and just saying, well, these is crank, you know, all right, well, these don't sound good. Like, okay, that's cool. Or, you know, if that's what that is, I'm not going to shun you for it. That's fine. That's what you rock with. But there are a lot of people out there who can give definitive reasons why this doesn't sound good. There are a lot of people out there who will say, well, this band is not okay. This thing is happening and I'm not comfortable with it, and give factual details as to why it is. So I just want to be able to give a space for everybody to be able to have their conversations. And at some point, and I had this conversation with Chuck, at some point, meet in the middle and say, okay, I agree with you or I disagree with you. And we can agree without being disagreeable, as Mario would say. All right, so that's my spiel, man. I appreciate Crystal. A lot of people have been going in the chat, so y'all keep rocking the chat. Hey, look, man, Scarfinger, I don't know nothing about that payment for the Battle Fest. I was a student. I ain't had nothing to do with that. If some people ain't get paid, that is out of my jurisdiction. Don't see, you always start mess, man. You are always starting mess. All right, man. Let's quickly bring in. Let's do this. What up, Walter?
What up, y'all?
What's going on, brother?
Family. What's up? First off, 06 to the good bros.
06.
Man, I just want to give y'all flowers, man, because people don't understand this podcasting thing, bro. It ain't for the weak, man. And y'all been going strong. Y'all keep the topics coming. You know what I'm saying? It's always good content. It's always, I don't know how you be doing them dockets, bro, but y'all stay on, man. And I want to applaud y'all for that for sure, because when we was coming up, you ain't had nothing like this. You had people talking shit every now and again on YouTube. YouTube wasn't even that big yet, but you know what I'm saying? You had people talking shit back and forth on YouTube. You had, the marching band platforms that wasn't really, about much. So I definitely want to commend y'all, man, and give y'all flowers.
Oh shoot, I ain't even unmute my mic, man. But appreciate it, man. You're absolutely right, man. Hell, I'm the oldest person on the panel right now, but even just back in the day, we surely didn't have nothing. The only thing we had was the fifth quarter, and that's as far as it went. And even then, people was talking crap to each other.
Yeah.
One of the things that I hope to do, and there are things that I have wheels turning in the future, is to really start getting a lot of these undergrad students into this space, because from a band perspective and a music education perspective, because I'll say this, there are people at the Prairie Views and the Texas Southerns and even the Jacksons and the Southerns who feel the way we feel. Everybody hadn't sipped the Kool-Aid, and you gotta understand that they feel like they aren't heard either. And so, I want to start getting into those spaces and allowing them to be able to come into this platform. And my goal, and I ain't gonna tell you my goal because I don't want to talk about it. I just want to make it happen. But yeah, it's something that I really want to do next, man. So yeah, my brain is always moving. Always. My wife told me yesterday, I was sitting in the car and I said, I'm just thinking about it a lot. She was like, you got 12 tabs open, so I ain't gonna mess with you. That's usually what happens. If I think about one thing, I got 15 other things that I'm thinking about at the same time. So you're absolutely right, man. But appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Just watching the progression, man, like from the start to now, the intro, the background, everything. You know what I'm saying? I take a look at all that because, like I said, podcasting is a different beast. Like, people don't understand the production that goes in behind the show. You know what I'm saying? They see the hour or two that you on the show, and it's like, nah, you got to prepare for that. You got to put in time on the back end. You got to, strip your videos and try to see exactly how to upload them and all this other shit, man. So yeah, big ups to you, bro.
Man, appreciate it. And this stuff ain't easy. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I know.
you absolutely right. It ain't easy, man.
I know, man.
But man, I definitely appreciate you, bro, man. And I already know you're gonna stay locked in, man. But appreciate
For
you,
sure.
100%.
For sure, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, bro.
You too, bro.
Man.
Hey, I do want to say this real quick. Hey, Maya, thank you. Because I never say this. I guess this is our thankful show. Thank you, because I'm gonna be real. I didn't, before hearing your point of views about dance, I didn't understand dance. I'm just be honest. As a percussionist and as a band director, I just was like, I was unfortunately one of those band directors like, hey, I got a dance instructor, y'all do y'all thing, make sure y'all counts right, because I didn't understand it. And it's like the way you and Michonne and even Portia, like for y'all show, like I'd be like, damn, like that's what it goes into, because you got to realize, like when we marched at PV, like the Black Foxes low key was like, you better not touch them. Like we had to sneak to talk to the Black Foxes, bro. Like Prof Ed was like, God damn it, Box, get from over there. And like they used to practice in the back mirrors, of Hobart. And like we would try to send Crabs over there to go talk to them. Man, if you got caught, then you damn near lost your scholarship talking to one of them Black Foxes. You know what I'm saying? And we just saw them like practice back there. come out, do their counts, go back in. We all knew that they ate first at Golden Corral, which I was always upset about, you know. But yeah, like Walter saying, forbidden, bro. If you was caught talking to a black fox, bro, you about to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? That's worse than glazing. You know what I'm saying? They had their own bus. I mean, they was like, real talk, Black Fox Real Talk is like a low-key elite sorority in the Marching Storm. Just all I'm saying. But the insight that you brought to the table, like, makes me be like, okay, I need to incorporate my dancers as well as give them opportunities for camps, you know, more so. And just keep doing your work, man. And stop being so shy, bro. Real talk. You have a lot to offer.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. And that means volumes because it takes a lot. It's gotten easier, but it took a lot for me to even do this and to continue doing it because it's a battle against myself as well. It's a battle against what everyone presumes or what they think just because I was Black Fox captain or what have you. And all those things are a bit different than what they actually seem in real life, who I am, who Maya is as a person. So I definitely appreciate that. Anytime anybody has the willingness or, is able to share those types of words, that means so much. But I thought that it was, well, one, when Luke asked me to be on the show, he did kind of start with that perspective. Like, we want to give a different realm, a different kind of point of view, because there are things that as a culture, as a community, that we're missing out on. So it is always been my stance to be able to speak for those who aren't able to speak, whether it is that they don't have a platform, they don't really know left from right, or they just don't have the opportunity. So it's always been my stance to kind of say or reinforce the nature that just because we're dancers, color guard, auxiliary does not mean, and Crystal hit it on the head as well, like that we're any less intelligent, that we're some type of sex symbol, or the biggest part of it all is that we are not musically inclined.
Right.
And so for those who speak, I don't have a doctorate in music, but I do understand tone. I do understand musicality. I do understand reference. So to be able to push that out and kind of reorchestrate that mindset, or that crushed and crippled mindset that we are in this very, very small box, and being able to have the opportunity on a weekly basis to be able to present that to the world. I mean, it's humbling and it's exciting as well. So I thank you both for saying everything that you've said thus far. Like, it truly goes without, it does not go without, it's very heartfelt. So it's hard for me to say those types of things again, because we can go so far deep into this. But yeah.
But you're a GOAT though. And I think this is how you'd accept our greatness. You're a GOAT.
And see, that's fair though, because it's so hard to say like, no, like I can toot my horn a little bit. I can talk my shit just a little bit. And kind of being able to kind of down that thought of a humble person doesn't speak of their humility. Like, it's okay to be that, but in the way in which confidence and exaggeration or not being humble are two totally different things. So definitely. And then let me see, someone said something earlier that I did want to comment on. I forget who exactly made the comment, but basically it was, how often do you reminisce? More than I'd like to admit, to be honest with you, and for good and bad reasons. Because when I say I'll look at those old videos, or I'll find myself thinking about different situations, and I'll truly break it apart on the good side and the bad side. Like, I'm talking about, we're all keen to being our own worst enemy, but like scrutinizing and being like, oh, like the way that I moved in this situation was awful, or I didn't make it to my true capacity of where I could have been and what I could have brought to the line, the community, and all those things. But then also being able to say like, no, but truly those were good times. Whether we felt that we fulfilled our passion, fulfilled our purpose or not, those were truly some of the best times in our lives. And I wish that I could just, I don't think I want to do a full season, but maybe like one or two, maybe I would be willing to do a little 1, 2. But yeah, I did want to hit on that.
Okay.
I guess for me, do I go back and reminisce? For the memories and experiences, yes. For a young man to come from where I come from, similar to Justin background. I never forget in 2008, I went to California 3 to 4 times free. Like we went to, of course, we did Rose Bowl, but we also the box performed for the CEOs of Honda for the robot. We went for the Angel City Classic when we played against Morehouse. Like we went to Cali. It was like we like, oh, we in Torrance, bro. Like we know where to go, almost to performing at Honda. And I'm gonna admit it publicly this time, Julian. I'm gonna do it publicly. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be a man of my word. When we saw goddamn Norfolk right before us, because people don't know, Norfolk went before us, and we was in the back prepping. When they played that show, we said, "Damn, we gotta go behind this shit." Like no lie, like that was an awesome show. But when you think about those memories, like, you can't take away. Now, of course, everybody has their family business, right? But what makes me smile now is because I'm still in the family at Prairie View. I see how they function. I mean, I know everything, but I see how they function in the product for what it is. And I must say, I'm thankful because it was a post last week, I believe, so where Dr. Zachary, he was 10 years now being at Prairie View. And I remember, and as a person that has been building a band program here, I tip my hat off to this man and the staff, Prop Hopkins, you Julian, you Rick, because y'all had y'all hand into rebuilding a program that had a 30-year legacy with one band director that unfortunately passed away, dealt with grieving students, redid that, reframework, remarketed them, and to the product they have now. I think me personally, I think Prof Ed is smiling and is happy at the product that he sees what Dr. Zachary did. And that's my guy, real talk. But I look at more new Prairie View stuff because I be like, a part of me be like, damn, I wish I'd have played in that band. No lie. Now, I'm boxed though. But I'll be like, I wanted to be in that band, real talk. I'd have played trumpet or something like that.
No, you would have been a box SD. There you go.
Shout out to MSD, bro. I want my shirt. I want my MSD shirt.
So I a couple of things. So the first thing, getting back to Maya. One, Maya is absolutely right. Whenever I get a chance, I try to talk to her as much as possible. She loves it. She's shaking her head, but she loves it. But no, I one thing I didn't know about Maya, that I found out on the show. I never knew that she actually had a instrumental background. I never knew that until that episode when she was talking about how she played piano and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know. The reason why and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the choice with Maya was between Rick and my wife. I was like, yo, we got to get a female on the show, but I don't want another band person. I don't want, somebody specifically who's an educator. And they were like, yo, what about Maya? And I was like, let me think. So I thought about, because you got to remember, we watched Maya from 2012 to 2013 as her being a student. And I will tell you this. This is, let me put my old band director hat on. I got gray hairs now. I will tell you this. When we got to Prairie View, aside from the red hair, Maya was probably one of the, and honestly, all the Foxes were, but Maya was like the nicest person that we met. Her, Ashanti, and Shell was pretty cool, but Maya was like, she was just so nice and she was bubbly and all that kind of stuff. But then when I found out, this has happened years later, when I found out that Maya was like next to me. Like she moved to the apartment that me and my wife was staying, and I was like, oh, so Maya's like normal, so that's right. Like, because I just remember her as a student, so she became a normal person. And so, then I really got to just kind of understand who she was, and I was like, yo, she's super dope. So I think that's a really good idea. And that's kind of how we chose Maya to be on the show. And what ended up happening was she just kept giving great feedback, and I was like, that's awesome. And so after show, like my wife knows me. Every time after a show, I'm like, yo, how did it go? What do you think? Blah blah blah. And every conversation was like, yo, Maya was on it. Maya was on it. Maya was on it. And I was like, yeah, I agree. So wait,
I agree.
So Maya, 100%. I 100% agree with you, Quan. Maya, it was definitely the great choice. I would not have made a different choice. And she better not leave until she gives me 2 weeks notice, because I would have to find somebody who was equally as good, which would be super hard to do. So yeah. And then Maya, she's you weren't here, Quan. Maya said she's gonna show us all up at the National Battle of the Band. She said she getting her a whole new fit. She gonna get her a new pair of glasses. She may have some bunny ears or some cat ears. I don't know. Maybe another.
I did not. All I said was I needed to find something to wear. My goodness. But oh guys, thanks so much. Y'all, I don't know what it is about flowers and compliments. It's weird, but it's necessary. So I thank y'all so much for saying that. Yeah. It's been a process. It's been a journey, and you've definitely been there to see me who I was 10 years ago to where we are now. Well, just about 10 years ago. In August, it'll be 10 years.
It's 10 years. You got to remember that Dr. Zachary and Sean's 10 years of being at Prairie View, it is the 10 years that I've known you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And make it go too.
I am a regular person.
Yeah, you regular. You
real regular.
Had no clue. I thought you were just the bubbly little Maya.
I'm both of them, all three of them.
But we did get a little bit of under Dallas in her, just a little bit while we were there. We understood that she had some Dallas in her because she.
How? Because of the red. Aside from the red hair.
It was a couple of times where you would just, you would pop off randomly. Because you got to remember, you would sometimes have conversations with Rick.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh, if the walls could talk, Lord.
Exactly. Like I said, I'll be quiet, but I will be in the room. I just wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. And then before we let the next person in, I will tell you this: the conversation with them Black Foxes and the Golden Corral didn't change while we were there. Because boy, they ate. They ate
first.
Yes.
First and everything.
First.
We got the biggest plates.
Third time. And
no, we couldn't even sit at you can't sit at. First of all, when we was there, Dr. Sherrod is very sweet, but you ain't about to play that shit with her. Like, you ain't about to play with Margaret. Like don't even play. So like we couldn't even sit like by the Black Fox table to be like, hey, seats taken, brother, seats taken. They had a velvet rope to get to the Black Fox. I'm just saying, brother, it just was different, dog. Closer we got to
I'm kind of a little bit salty about that because because when y'all came, we had less VIP and we had to become more bandsmen. So it was a little rough coming off the high horse because the shit was sweet. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like even as my crabbier shit was still pretty sweet.
It was about the band.
I feel you.
But y'all still. But here's the thing: y'all still had your own table. Listen. This is the thing that blew me about the Black Foxes. So when we would go to Golden Corral, and I got you, Chuck. I see you, bro. But when we would go to Golden Corral, right? Rick would always eat last because he had to make sure that he took care of the funds and blah blah blah. Because Rick is my brother, and because I was assistant, typically I would wait with him, or I would at least wait through till most of the kids ate. And you know, back then, and my wife just mentioned it, back then my wife and my then 1-year-old daughter would travel with us. She's 10, by the way, so it has been 10 years. But my 1-year-old daughter would travel with us, so I would send them ahead. I would walk over and I would be making sure that everybody's eating. And the Black Fox table not only was filled with Black Foxes, but every plate was mile high with food. The little roll daddies, the little, what's it, the general, the bourbon chicken, the bourbon chicken daddy with some rice on the bottom, the actual fried chicken. I think a couple of times I see somebody with some, they would have that joint stacked. I don't know how y'all never doo-dooed on yourself when y'all would perform them shows, because y'all would eat good.
Oh, for sure. And we'd be on the second, third plate by the time
everybody came in.
Get off the damn bus.
Ready to
get off
back
the
on
damn
the bus
bus.
and take a nap. Exactly.
Walking out with toothpicks in their mouth, like
1000%.
I'm talking about we used to do Cotton Bowl, and so we used to always, I don't know why, I go to that Golden Corral by Redbird Mall. The Black Foxes would be back on the bus with the AC, taking a nap or changing their clothes or doing their makeup, and the box still be looking out like a homeless child, motherless child. Like, bro, when we go get in the Golden Corral, damn, the Black Foxes ate already. Like, it was bad, bro. Like, we could not look. They were the pride and joy of the Storm for sure when I was in there. And I'll never forget, for my freshman year, when the Black Foxes had, I think they had 2 outfits, and they came out and it looked like a Chiquita banana, like the little hat with the hair and all that. Man,
I remember that. I've seen
man, that was crazy. I think we played Conga that year. Man, you couldn't tell a Black Fox nothing, bro. Nothing.
All right. Let's stop talking about the Foxes, because Maya feeling great. Let's let Chuck in. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what up, guys? Y'all hear me?
What's up, Doc?
All right.
Yeah, don't ask me we hear you, because that's like from the first episode. Can you?
Oh,
no, we good.
Hey, look, that's teacher trauma. You know what I'm saying? When you do these Zoom and team calls and stuff, man. But I done taught a whole lesson and I was on mute. Kids not saying nothing. But I'm over here laughing because, like, y'all talking about the Black Foxes Gold Corral. It was the same thing for Golden Delight, man. Golden Delight eating first, plates all big. We waiting in line. Of course, you know, low brass and percussion. We in the back. We get the last uniforms, the last plates, the last of everything. I didn't think my hat had a war eagle on it my freshman year. It was all like jacked up or whatever. You know, I had to get my hat out of a box. All right, so I've been taking some notes, man. First off, tired. This is week 2 of band camp. I'm tired. I appreciate it, man. Last week, my percussion instructor, he was performing with Drumline Live. You know him, he's box, Maurice Mosley. Yeah, that's my drum instructor, man, and my assistant director. So I was filling in with the drum line last week, so I had to take it back to high school. So that was fun, but it was good. And they had a performance on Monday for the district, you know, like new teacher orientation and stuff. So yeah, I'm on fumes right now. But what was it, Quan? You said something about like loving the, like, I kind of titled like loving the new edition of the band. You know, there's moments like that I look at A&T's band specifically, and I'd be like, man, I would have loved to, play in this group. Of course, the years I were in, we were primarily, we did our field shows, but it was all about the fifth quarter. Just to be honest, it was what we prepped for. We were a fifth quarter band, and field shows, we pretty much knew who we were doing. Just to be honest, 35-45, 35-45, stack to the line, slant, chevrons, float. Just changed the song. We knew what was going on, and so to see the different things that they're doing, I definitely look at it like, man. And Maya was saying, I don't want to do a whole season. Maybe I can get out there and do a performance. I remember I got to chaperone with A&T's band when they did Macy's. And that was the first time of me kind of being around the band, for a performance, but not in uniform. And I remember texting Doc Ruff. I was like, Doc, I can't do this anymore. I need a uniform. I need a horn. Like, I just felt so out of place. I felt out of place. I didn't, he's like, look, we can't be picking up anybody off the side of the road, I have those moments. I've been out with my kids marching 8 to 5, doing slants, and everything. I've been enjoying it. And I think we're gonna get to that Battle Fest conversation in a second. I jotted that down in my notes.
Okay.
But
all right, we got it.
Yeah, all right. And so I definitely think this I can honestly say this podcast and show has been it's been therapeutic for me, just to be honest. I mentioned, I think one of the first times I got on, and I know sometimes I can ramble, but I was honest in being transparent that I was contemplating like getting out the field, and maybe doing something else. I don't know what that would be, but I was thinking about it, and that was like through the pandemic. But I know I selected this field, and then hearing all the stories and of course the educators and everybody speaking on here, and coaches and just people that just invest in kids, it definitely reminded me of my why. And that's to, I became a band director because I didn't want to leave the band room. Like, I enjoyed it so much. It was such a safe space. It was such family. I was in school and definitely some of you guys can understand this, or probably heard stories of when 9/11, took place. And I remember folks just migrating to the band room. Like, everybody went to the band room first. Everybody went there. And, we had some military folks that had to just ship out, hey, here's my dorm room keys. I got to go, and make sure my stuff is good. And so, again, the band room has always been a safe space for me. And I was talking with some middle school kids today, and I just, remember that. I always tell my upperclassmen, I was like, remember that first time you came to the band room and that feeling, or that look that you had, and never forget that. And so I was talking, like I said, to my middle school kids today, and they were just, excited. They have Summer Ridge this week, and they're starting next week, and they're like, man, I can't wait, and that, definitely gives me motivation and gives me energy. So I can say this show has definitely, been therapeutic for me and reminding me of my why and being a safe space, and having the tough conversations, of course, cutting up, band folks, we know how to cut up with the best of them, and sometimes folks that are not like part of this culture, maybe on the outside end, they're like, man, like, they don't realize like how energetic or how excited, we get about it. I still get chills. Like today I was teaching drill. I still get chills about that. Or I get chills like I'm working on some music right now and cleaning some stuff up, and that first sound, when you write something, or maybe like an 8 count, or even like some of you guys have been step masters. When I was a step master as well too, and when you come up with something, like I still have a stroll that my chapter still does. I'm like, man, I still do that.
I do too.
Right. I feel honored. You
probably seen it before too.
Really.
Yeah. The one that goes backwards, the one that goes boom.
Oh, yeah, I did it. Yeah.
That was me. I made it.
Word.
Yeah, that was me.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was weird.
Nah, that's cool. I mean, when you see that, especially like the years that we came into frat, you'd be like, man, and going to the Battle Fest topic, like I have like kids that get that DVD or they'll see it. Ronnie Chisholm is on, it's my best friend. He's one of my best men in my wedding. And how we met, he took over the band at Fayetteville State, and he lived with me for a good side of like 3-4 months. I didn't know him, outside of just being double frat. And he was like, bro, you that light-skinned person on that baritone on that A&T tape. Like, I used to watch that thing and show my students to be like, man, this guy, you know what I'm saying? This guy got a lot of energy, man. And so, you know, that's really how we met and how we connected. But yeah, the Battle Fest ones were dope, man. And I could just be honest, man. In 2005, think about it. Think about the euphonium baritone battle. I was a section leader that year. We caught a mean L. I could be honest about it, but I remember that. Like, if you look at the video, I didn't drop my head, but I had that moment like I closed my eyes. Our first fanfare was really good. It was neck and neck. The second one, and I'll take it on the chin as a leader. We didn't polish it up like we need to. You know, I don't think we got back into our room that night till like 2 a.m. You know, it was just a long ass night, and we didn't execute. And so we got done with our fanfare. I think we played Tribute to Bob Marley, right? That was it. Trash, right? And then the euphoniums came in with ooh, da doo 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 doo. I said. And it was like everything. The crowd was singing. I was singing in my head, but I was like, I'm not supposed to be singing, but this thing sounds good. Like,
they killed it that year.
Oh my goodness!
First year they debuted that joint too. And we were sitting back there like,
right. I was trying not to make a face. Like, I was like, God, oh man. But those Battle Fest joints, you know, and I would say this. I guess it was returned, you know what I'm saying? Y'all returned the favor because the year before, that was my first year playing euphonium, but I had played trombone 3 years before, and our trombone smacked y'all in 2004 at Norfolk. And the second fanfare was one that I wrote. Don't look like that, bro. Come on now. We can go to it. And so that second fanfare was one that I wrote that got some
roll of beautiful video.
Oh, we can do that, man. We can look it up there. But now,
while he's talking, I'm looking.
Find it. Trombones, yeah. A&T. We were in the blue, the royal blue joints, right? And so, but yeah, those Battle Fest ones it was special. You know, bringing the groups in. Of course, it was, you know, a lot because you were doing it the night before you actually had the game the next day. So it was a lot. But some of those moments, you know, we got to, you know, kick it with folks that we didn't get to normally kick it with. And if you talk to like older band members, they talk like that's how they used to do it. Like the band would come the night before and they would like kick it. The bros would set it out, you know, you'd hang out or whatever, do your thing. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it is what it is after that, you know, and those moments were really, really special and dope, man. Doing the Battle Fest, man. Did you find it?
I'm looking at it now. We're not gonna.
Oh, okay.
Because the first thing y'all started with was the train chord, Daddy.
You got come on, man. Come on, that fanfare. That was one that I wrote. You got to play it, man.
I'll play it after you leave. There you go.
Say, I have a question. Why doesn't A&T play that? It was two things that I ain't gonna lie that made me want to go to A&T. First of all, and this may sound silly, but when y'all did that Aggie lean, I was like, bro, that's different. You feel me?
Yeah, that's been around for the longest, man. I think
Aggie lean.
It's gotta be clean.
It's gotta be clean. Right. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. You know, and I ain't gonna say it because then we'll get flagged for it. But we used to say it. We used to call it something else. But go ahead.
Well, you know, we had some things for the green and gold. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I already know.
Right. And so, hey, real talk, man. I stayed with one of your chapter bros one time. And, you know, I was crashing on the couch, you know, not going to say what I was doing that weekend, but I was crashing on the couch, right? And me and my bro, we woke up and in the corner, he had one of the helmets from the Spartan Legion just there. We like, bro, we got to take a picture, man. And so, you know, we definitely took some pictures with the, you know, the Spartan Legion helmet, you know.
Why do you also know why they stopped playing? I don't know the name of it, but it was kind of like y'all's signature song. It was like bum bum bum.
Oh no, we still play it. My band plays it. We still play it. We play it.
Okay, I don't. But they used to start it on the field though.
Right. We do it when the football team comes out, like pregame, stuff. But it's crazy how that happened. Dr. Henry, he's the department chair. He used to be the assistant band director at Texas Southern University, and he wrote Torture for Texas Southern that they used to play, right? And so I call that's my crab brother, EK. He was the assistant director first year I was in the band there, right? And he made this fanfare, and it was from Redman. I don't know if you remember this video where he was like Frankenstein, and they were like bringing him alive or whatever, right? And so it had this big fanfare at the beginning, and then Smash Something. It's called Smash Something, Middle Finger You. So the song's called Smash Something, Middle Finger You is from Sauce Money, and For My Hustlers. For My Hustlers. And so one day we played the beginning because it was like in the fanfare. It was like in the dance routine. And then they played the other one after. They're like, hey, wait a minute. Let's mix this thing together. And that's been going on since my freshman year, since 2001, And so they still play it. Aggie Lean, that's kind of like, again, that's early 70s, and we used to do it all the time, every game. But when Dr. Ruff came in 2003, he's like, look, we're going to do it sometimes. We're not going to do it all the time. And so, again, just kind of transitioning, into a new era of things. And when you guys were talking about transitions, like from one director to the next, man, I think, and we've seen some new directors. Shout out to Dr. Jordan Reed, new director of bands at Morgan State University, and a bunch of other directors that are going to be named very, very soon. Devin Moore, Dr. Devin Moore. She's assistant at Oklahoma State. My line brother actually works there. He's over diversity and inclusion for the whole university. God, who else? Hey, Dante. He's associate director at USC in Cali. It just got named yesterday. It's big time, and so like I don't think
somebody just get picked up at Fayetteville.
Well, okay. They've had an interim director for a little bit, and and so we don't give. And again, those of you guys that have been to different schools or whatever, or maybe even Maya working with different teams, like I don't think a lot of times in our culture, we give enough grace for folks like coming in. Like I've already seen like mess already, and these individuals just got named, and it makes me upset. It really makes me upset, especially when it comes from folks that wouldn't even last a day, let alone a week, in the positions that we hold in terms of responsibilities and the things that we have to do. And just this is a shining moment for these individuals, and I know, one day if the man upstairs, wants to promote us and put us in those seats or whatever, like it's discouraging, what I'm saying? It's really discouraging and upsetting. And we get it from our own folks, and I try not to look on certain groups all the time and stuff like that, but it's sickening, it's really sickening. And, I feel bad, man, when I see that. And sometimes I'll be wanting to, what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen folks have an opportunity, and because the internet goes in on these folks, it causes ripples or issues, what I'm saying, with that. Like people don't understand like everything that has to happen. Think about these directors that just got named this past month. They have to move their entire family, relocate, find schools for their kids, and build a band program or continue a long-lasting tradition that's going on in these schools. Like people don't get it, what I'm saying? People don't get it, and it's just really disrespectful, and I hate that I see that, and I just hope that those individuals are kind of just staying away from it. You hear famous individuals say staying away from the comments, because they can kind of drive you crazy and drive you insane. And I think that's just really unfortunate. But all those individuals that I mentioned, they're extremely great, extremely strong headed, and they're gonna, what I'm saying, I know they're gonna do their thing. And so it's just kind of crazy, just seeing that, and of course seeing that from our own folks.
Absolutely, bro. You're absolutely right, man. And I 100% agree with you. We've got to do a better job of taking care of our own people and being supportable to our own people. Once again, I'm always say it. That's why I created this space, so that we can give people their flowers when they do get these promotions and things like that. Because we don't ever want to wish ill will on anybody. I know there are the groups and pages for that. That's just not what I'm about. I don't, it's not about whether I know these people or whether I think that they are the greatest directors, or whatever. Right. It's about we just want to try to support them because they are stepping in positions that we either A, we ourselves do not have, or B, because they're stepping into a space that they may have not in the past have had the opportunity to do. So yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
But to add to that, Julian, I think what it really is one day we aspire to be there. And so that type of like excoriation that people don't even know these people are throwing at their way and don't know these people, like we wouldn't want that for ourselves, because we know what it takes. Real talk, we know what it takes to build a middle school, a high school, and like you said, Chuck, and I believe that my faith can move God's hand. I will be a college band director of bands. I don't need that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just say, what they're going through mentally, not just personal life, but from a business perspective, to transition. Like shout out to the gentleman that's transitioning to Morgan. You're coming after a GOAT, bro. Like he's been there for years. And so to make that program is because it's hard, because you make it the same, but you make it yours.
Right.
Like you have to keep the tradition, but you have to make it your own. Because the first time he changed something, like we've said on the show, he gonna get them emails. Let him change a fanfare that they've been doing for years. Like he's gonna get excoriated. So like I think we're coming at it because we actually are endeavoring to get there, but we've been through things that are similar. That's why.
Absolutely.
Right, man. You're totally correct, man. And the thing, like, just two things with this topic. One, that if individuals knew these individuals, they would keep their mouth closed, because they have no idea how talented and how good some of these individuals are. I totally believe that people earn like all the things that they get, whatever it is in life, a position, a promotion, or whatever you earn that in some way, shape, or form, and again, I think we do more damage, when it comes to that versus like, supporting that individual. I mean, I'm all about the trash talk and let's have fun when it's all in, what I'm saying, when it's all in context. But, these individuals, again, transitioning to this space, man, they need our support, because we get it from both ends. Y'all seen it at some of these conventions and things like that. Folks looking at us crazy and questioning us, sizing us up, and it's like, man, we went to school too. We earned our time too. So yeah,
absolutely, bro. Well, Chuck, bro, we appreciate you, man. 100%. You already know how it is, man. You are a family to this
Thanks,
family.
Bro.
You are a family to this channel already, brother.
Nice, bro.
Man,
appreciate y'all.
All right.
You know what? That just going off of that last topic, it kind of sent me not to a dark place, but it sent me to a different place, because we're talking about the detriment that external negativity can, make. But we're not talking about the internal detriment that it has too. And it took me back to 2012, because yes, in college, we're adults, but we're still kids, right? So like hindsight, we're still kids, and we're creatures of habit. So I remember when the transition occurred, right? So it was the first transition from Prophet, right? Then with the whole McQueen situation, transitioning into what is now Dr. Zachary, a lot of that, it was almost as if without giving too much context, those types of things can possibly implode the program, because we're sponges, because we're not there yet. We're sponges, but we're also creatures of habit. So we're hearing all these things. Oh, they're going to come do this. Oh, he can't do this. Or, oh, she going to do this. Or, oh, what have you. They going to be a baby Southern now, or whatever the case may be. So now we're taking that subconsciously. And now we're like, well, shit, you ain't going to come in here and do this, that, and the third. So now I'm less resistant to what you have and what you're wanting to present in your vision, whether I'm realizing it or not. So that I think that goes into the situation as a whole. Like, we're downhill before we even get started, because we have all these things coming from the outside, these outside voices that don't know they right from their left, couldn't navigate a band room if you paid them $1 million. But you have all these things being said, but now, one, I have no reason not to trust you, but because I've been hearing all this stuff behind my ear and it's clouding my judgment, I'm already like, my wall is already up. And that was part of a process that we had to get through. And I remember that from both sides. I was going to say the Miss Fox side. What is that? The Black Fox side with Miss Sean, with Miss Danielle, to the overall band in general. So that's wild. That's wild. But that's definitely a topic that needs to be talked out a little bit further and broken down, because it's definitely detrimental on all parts. And then also, to flip it, when Chuck said he had to take that L, woo, that took me to a dirty place too. Because
can we not talk about what was it, 2013?
You know it was.
Let it
Woo,
go.
when you have to stand there.
I know we were there. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one, Maya.
There. All right. We remember. Okay.
I'm gonna give you one, Maya, because
I know
we Stone family. Like we didn't went through it. I'm gonna give you one. All right, it's 2006. It's my crab year.
Mm-hmm.
I left Louisiana, left New Orleans. Got there doing I'm like, bro, I'm in a box. Like, I'm here. I'm playing sequence. I'm here. For those that don't know, Hurricane Katrina happened 2005. 2006, a lot of the people from New Orleans, surrounding areas, transitioned to Texas Southern.
Texas Southern was smashing that year.
That year, I'm talking about, I think they damn near marched. Let me just highlight drums. I think that year for the bass drums, I think they marched like maybe 10 bass drums out. I can't remember. It was like 8 or 10 bass drums. If you have 10 bass drums, do you know how much woodwinds but wind players you have to support that? Man, them boys came out, and of course, under a Prof Lee playing Torture. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I heard them marching from underneath that tunnel, and it seemed like they never stopped ending. I was like, God damn. And they kept going, and they got in the stands, and real talk, they were clean. They sounded good. And they opened up. I said, God damn, I went to the wrong band, because some of my partners was at TSU. Dog, they were so damn loud. And see, Maya, this is something that you never experienced. You know that Fanfare Genesis?
Mm-hmm.
They played it.
The original, yeah.
Ooh. They played it. So we played it. So we da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We played it. They played it, and then they took it up.
Ooh.
I said, fuck, I went to the wrong. Like, I'm talking about like everybody, I ain't trying to be funny. PV, we be stuff. We ain't took no L against TSU. That year we did. Mm-hmm. That year we did. I'm talking about, now the field show they did was trash, like real talk. But in the stands, I'm talking about, I was like, as a crowd, you be locked up, and they be like, look at this sign, and you be looking. That was the first time they played something. I said, God damn. And the dude, the old head was like, lock the hell up. I said, I'm gonna lock up, but God damn, that's loud. Like, that year, I never heard TSU sound that great. Yeah, like, TSU, they were really good.
In all fairness, TSU, from my years of looking at TSU, has not been that loud since. That was a phenomenal year. I was at Norfolk looking at I ain't never watched TSU after Willow Ridge, because I had to watch TSU when I was at Willow Ridge. After I left Willow Ridge, I didn't care about no TSU. That year, though, shoot.
Hey, real talk, that was the year, in my opinion, they blew out Southern. Like, they could say what they want. They blew out Southern that year. That was the premier swag band.
Yeah, you're going to get us flagged. You're going to get us flagged and taken down. You get us flagged?
You know what? I'm not going to get y'all flagged, because half of them from Louisiana, too. So we going to make it. Yeah. But that was the year. And so y'all remember that year they went to Honda I think like the following year, 07, in my opinion, that's why they went to Honda, was because of that 06 year. That 06 year, bro. Hey, no band was messing with TSU that year. Straight up.
They was smashing. Let me
all that to say, because you didn't want me to say it, but I'm gonna say it.
We know though, Maya.
But I need to let them know again.
Okay.
You haven't lived. Well, really, you ain't died. You got to stand there. Child, you got to stand there with a fake smile or like with your game face, your grit or whatever, right? And hear that first note open up and your back kind of swoops in a little bit. And you got to close your eyes and just take that breath and say, shit. It's
you got to get in the cut.
Long game.
I will say this. And maybe this is in a bragging way. Maybe it is not. I don't know what it feels like to have that happen.
But you made it happen to me. You made me have to.
No. Listen, what I'm saying is, as a performer, I don't know what it feels like to have that happen.
Fam, Bethune-Cookman didn't blow y'all out?
We didn't see Bethune when I was there. We saw Fam and we smashed Fam. You can go look at that video, 03 and 05.
Okay.
Go find the video. But I don't remember that ever happening to me as a student. Now, I remember that game. I remember Shreveport. I remember Southern Shreveport. I remember Jackson Shreveport. And I really, yes, we did. Yes, we did. Don't even play that game. But I remember sitting there in front of you all talking to Rick, like, yeah, this ain't going too hard. Because we were like at the beginning, the band, see, we always bring this back up. For the Jackson game, at the beginning, see, now I got to pull receipts because these young fellas think I'm telling a lie.
Well, don't pull no receipts for my game that I'm talking about. Just take it from me.
No, I'm talking about because they think I'm lying about the Fam joint, but we'll
We'll
cross that bridge when we come to it. But at the beginning of that game, y'all were doing all right. The band was holding its own. By the time we got through halftime, though,
they were.
It was just like downhill. Now realize I'm not saying y'all was smashing. I just said y'all was holding y'all own. Y'all was doing okay.
Proud family.
Y'all got to at halftime and after halftime, me and Rick looked like we looked at each other like, yeah, this is not going well.
But I'm gonna say this though, Maya and Julian.
Let me go pull up this video because
that band there is, in my opinion, the reason why the Storm is how it is now. Because that band had heart to take that, to get in the cut and take it. And then the next year, I think y'all mindset was like, hey, we ain't never going through that type of shit again. Because in my opinion, I felt like that L we took in 06 was the first gym battle we had against TSU in 07. And then it started, progressing better because Prof Ed would walk in there and be like all blues, and we'd be like, my nigga, they just playing Rough Rider. Like, what is we doing? Like, they just playing down bottom. And he was like, all blues. We like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, bro.
Yeah, I
will. A little flight of the bumblebee.
I will say this. I agree with you, Quan. Me and Rick say that all the time. 2012, 2013, Prairie View had hella heart. Because 2012, if I remember correctly, when we came in, we were one size, but 2013 we were smaller, and it was just like in 2013 new
and declining because the numbers was going down through.
And we was like, yo, we just gonna go out here with what we got, and we gonna keep pushing. And that year, y'all just really just kept pushing. So much so that I think 2014 is when we did the SWAC Battle of the Bands. I think that was 2014. Yeah. And I felt like
when Silas dropped the mace.
Talk about that part. We're not gonna talk about that part.
I was like, because my cousin played football for Southern and they won. So I'm like, okay.
Talk about that.
I'm like, cool. Now I'm gonna talk about it. We talking about everything on this show. I'm like, I played Silas. I was like, Silas, my little brother. I said, oh,
but okay. So, in all fairness, it wasn't the fact that he dropped the mace. It was the fact that
It was him by himself.
No, it wasn't just that though. It was the fact that King brought attention to it by saying he meant to do that. Once he said that, I was like, oh, why would you say it? Just let him eat that by himself and then just would have let it go. Once he said he meant to do that, it was like, oh, it's wow. But my whole point of that was to say I felt like 2014 Prairie View was the realization that there was something special happening, because when we got to that SWAC Battle of the Bands, it was like all the lights turned on and they really got it that year, because that was the Show the World year. Wasn't that the year we played Show the World, or was that 15? I think that was 15. I don't remember. But yeah, it just, for me, that was the rise of the Prairie View that you see today. And speaking of Prairie View, we have somebody who's been waiting in the wings. All of a sudden, she's made me want a salad. She was smashing that salad, but no, we gonna bring in. This always messes with me because I just call her Sean, so we just gonna bring in Sean. Hey, you on mute. You on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to eat. I had to get my dinner in. And so I'm back here eating a salad. How y'all doing? Luke, I agree with you. 2014 was that turning point. If you remember, Maya was gone by then, but remember that game against Alcorn in the rain?
Was that 14? I thought that was 15.
It was 14.
That was 15 because I was student. That was fall 15.
That had to be 15. All
right. It was
that was a dope data. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, but that was when things really started to turn around. I remember the Jackson State game and everybody being upset because I think one of the drum majors popped off at Tim, and
he quit. He quit that day. Was it that day or was it after that day? I think it was that day. Yeah,
I don't remember, but all I know is, we were all geeked up and stuff for the fifth quarter, and Tim was like,
"Wrap it up,
let's go."
He was not staying.
He was not staying because
we had that conversation before we got there.
Yeah,
like there wasn't going to be a fifth, and it was a long thing behind the scenes with that, but we ain't going to that. But yeah, we had that conversation before.
Right.
So yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was really a turning point. I'm gonna try to remember. Y'all know, I'm not gonna talk too much about me looking at videos from back in the day, because y'all know I'm old. Y'all gonna have to go back and get them Tape Master, them Tape Master videos. But
my high school videos is with Tape Master at this point. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, I go back and look at videos from teams that I coached, not where I performed. But I always go back and look and go back and reminisce sometime, even with my high school teams that I coach. I go back and look and see what's what. But yeah, let's see, what else did y'all talk about? There was I just wanted to say this. I want to get this out the way before I forget. Maya, I just Maya had it was a difficult transition for Maya when we were there in 2012 and 2013. Just her not only having to get used to a new band staff, but having to get accustomed to having a co-captain, because that was she had not had the co-captain effect before. She and Ashante had to learn how to lead together. And so it was tough. And so I mean, she hung in there. When I tell you she hung in there like a champ, it just finished it with just all kinds of grace, left us with lots of accomplishments. You should really feel proud of yourself of what you did before you left. I know in your mind you probably think it wasn't that great of a year, but you did some great things. You don't even know it. I don't think you even realized what you did. And Luke, I gotta tell you, if y'all would have told me that you would be teaching me how to podcast and how to do all of this stuff, I never would have thought, like, I'm always the one that's in the background. I'm always the one that's pushing other people up and saying, no, you get up there and you talk and you do this and you do that. And so when you guys invited me to do this and get out here and talk and talk about my opinions, for one, you know, that shook me, because I was like, oh my God, you know, now I got to get out and talk. I'm talking about controversial things. I'm talking about very sensitive things and learning how to find my voice, you know, and you gave me the opportunity to do that. Like, otherwise I would have still been sitting back, you know, just chilling.
See, now you about to make me be like mine. See, like it's very few people who can hit me. But see, y'all got to understand, I've known Sean since I was like 17, 18. So, and I guess Maya too, but like I'm about to be 40 like very soon. So like saying that, yeah, like it's real. Like I'm closer to 40 than I am to 21. So I've known her since I was like 17. And so to hear that from her, it's like, oh my gosh. So all right, so yeah.
Well, I really like I said, I just think that what you're doing is great, and you inspired me to just kind of find my voice a little bit more. A couple of weekends ago, I was in San Antonio at National Dance Society, and they did a workshop on podcasting. So I went, and you know, I learned about some new stuff, some new tools and everything. And I'm like, look at me doing, you know, like I these are things that I never would have done. And then Quan, I gotta tell you, you know, you are just like that calm voice. You know, you're that transitioning. Every time I hear you talk, you know, and some of the explanations that you give, like you understand. Maybe you didn't understand when we first got here, but you understand like what it was we were going through. I don't think anybody knows what we were going through. And so I hope for all these, you know, like with Mr. Reed and all of them going into these new positions, that people just give them a chance. Because I mean, I remember it, and Julian, you probably remember too, about some hands that was about to be thrown in the band room. You know, you remember that that y'all had to go grab some folk, you know, because they were so just. I don't know what the word was, but they were just, I don't know. They were not hearing it. They were not ready to deal with us. And it was after a game, and the band had marched in, and no, and then everybody was jamming.
2012.
Right.
And this is, and I know she was going to the story, but I got to give some backstory.
Yeah.
Doc was not going to allow the alumni to march back.
Right.
At the last minute, he said, okay, we'll allow him to march back.
Right.
And when we got into that band room, because the altercation was between me and an alumni.
Yeah.
And when we got back in the band room, they did Peace Storm. It was a normal situation that I don't know what just happened to my old Lord, but it was a normal situation that typically happens with Peace Storm. But it was a group of alumni standing by the door.
Yeah.
Doc called me over. He said, hey, I need for you to tell them they gotta go. And I walked by, and you know, like I said, I try to be, you know, as political as possible. I try to do the right way. I said, hey, young brother, you know, I appreciate you being here, but you're gonna have to roll. And he said something to me about don't put your hands on my body. And then at that point, it started to snap off. Rick was over there, and then it was I remember that.
Yeah, and then see, we saw this. We saw not Tim, but you know, the other one came out, and not very many people get to see that one. And he came out, and he was like, you know, he was pointing to the door. He was just pointing, you know. And I was like, oh my God! And we were all sitting in there. I mean, everything was just really high strung. And it's not like we didn't know that it was going to be like that. That it was gonna have that effect. So, you know, when I hear Quan talk, and you know, I really appreciate the insight that you have and the insight that you give, because you just explain it so well. And I mean, over the years, things have gotten better, you know, but there's still some holdouts. That's all right, you know, but Quan, I appreciate what you do and the work that you do with the kids. You know, it was fun having you guys come through and everything's just, you know, so I hope you know that we appreciate you. But yeah, it's interesting. I just hope that these new band directors will get a fair chance, you know, to make their mark.
I think people really don't. And I think honestly, what I did was I graduated fall 11. So 12, I don't know what I was doing. I don't even think I went to that homecoming that year. But what I realized is God allowed me to go through those situations. And what people don't know is I went to it was maybe 2013 when I was having like beginning camp and whatever, and I end up going up there and I saw Rick and I saw Prop Hop. They just was sitting in the front, and people was cracking jokes, and I didn't know Prop Hopkins was an iota, and so somebody told him, "Say that's the worst decision that you made in your life, huh?" And bust out laughing. I was like, "Damn, like that's funny." But how I am, you know, I strive to operate with the utmost respect with people. And I told Rick, I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I go sit in?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro, like you're alumni, you can go sit in." I was like, "Well, I just don't want no issues because I'm a band director too." Mm-hmm. And like I told my percussion instructor, like this may be our home, but this is somebody else's house. So you have to respect that. And so God allowed me to go through those different things to see what it takes to build, what it takes to be like, hey, these traditions is cool, but I still want to make my own mark. I just don't want to follow somebody else's. And when I started seeing it, and then second of all, Dr. Zachary has never done anything to me that would harm me, like hinder my career or anything. I remember when I first met him, he was like, "Come sit down." I was like, "Okay, yes, sir." Like we literally had a sit-down conversation, and I had wore a suit. I was like, "Man, I meet Dr. Zachary anywhere," and I sat down with him, and he literally told me, like, "Hey," like he was like, "So what?" He asked me, "What things did you do when you were here?" And I told him, and he was like, "Well, we're doing this now. We're making sure that kids graduate. We're making sure this." And I said, "Well, yes, sir. Well, that's great." And then from there, we started talking about drilling, pieware writing, and then from that point on, everything. Anything that I may ask, like from warm-ups to anything, he'd be like, "Well, there you go," you know, because the truth is Dr. Zachary from afar can look very intimidating. Like everybody say that, but heart of gold, just don't play with him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just with anybody, even you, Miss Sean, from what you've done with Miss Lucretia Walker, my dance teacher here. Like I think people and those butthole alumni, they were still going through the grieving process because it's other things that we, you know, endeavor through as well. But you can't deny greatness, bro. Like no one, if you look at Prairie View now, and honestly, I look at that battle with Jackson State and PV like once a week, and I'd be like, damn, I wish I could have played Rep Your City. Like, damn, come on. Like you cannot deny greatness. If you look at the type of shows that we're doing now, great shows. If you look at the sound, like I was saying in the beginning of the show, the energy and respect the students have, they're preparing them for the real world. Them students see me, yes, sir, no, sir, you need to go that way. No, like the way y'all move and that same type of attitude. And we're going to be honest, it may have glazing may have happened back in the day, but you could tell it's about mutual respect of musicianship here. Mm-hmm. The same creed that y'all had, that y'all say, I took that same creed and was like, well, let me make my own one. Mm-hmm. Like it's things like that, those affirmations that you give your students. I got my own here at Worthing, you know? And so just know that people are watching and people are rooting for y'all too. And I'm one of the biggest alumni supporters. And when people say things that I know that are outside of y'all character, I'll be like, bro, that's not them. Go get to know them. And if you're not willing to go and get to know them, well, stop saying. Like I'm willing to do that. And I think that's healthy culture that we need to do because we are Storm. Like it doesn't matter, but we are the Storm. So I just appreciate all y'all for what y'all do, truly.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's definitely been a pleasure. It's well, that part has been a pleasure. There's some other stuff that's not a pleasure, but but other than that, yeah, we love it. We love the kids. They're like our own, and we have to make sure that they go out and that they're successful. We keep telling them it's wonderful about what you do here, but it's more important about what you're going to do when you leave here. What kind of person are you going to be when you leave here? Everything that they learn with us is going to be used as soon as they graduate, as soon as they get out there, and so we want to see them all be successful. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all thank you. And
can I have one request before I go? One request. Can I get some new Storm material? That's all. I just want some new Storm material. Can I have some new Storm material? I wore my old shirt there one day, and it was like, that must be the Mitchell and Ness throwback shirt that you was wearing. I was like, say, bro, I need some new clothes. Like, I need a new Storm.
Tell you what, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm in good with the man who takes care of all of that. So yeah.
Hallelujah. Your connections from Julian has increased my territory for me to get a new shirt. Play the shout music, Luke. Play the shout music. And I'm out, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Juan said it was hot. He had to go. They turned the air off.
Yeah, they shut him down. But no, Sean, I appreciate you and I love you, and you're freaking awesome and a superior GOAT. There would have been nobody else I would have thought of to even, be with Maya and be on the show or be on the panel. Like because when I came to Maya, I was like, "What do you think about Sean?" She was like, "Absolutely," like only Maya would do. So we both had you in mind. So that there was no other person. So
I appreciate that because lately my thing has been that I'm not done yet. I'm still learning, but there's still more to give, I think. And like I said, I'm learning how to talk and how to mentor people in different ways and other ways. And so this platform has just been very beneficial. It's been cool. Plus, we have a good time. Me, Maya, Portia, breaking our sides, laughing, having a good time and everything. So, I really appreciate it.
Anytime. You already know you like family anyway.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Ms. Sean, I can't thank you enough. One day I'll figure out how to formulate the words so you can properly get your flowers, because there's so much to say on so many different spectrums. Just you as a person, as a woman, as a leader, just exemplary in all facets. And even though the trend, when we first met, things were hard and just not knowing who I was as a person all the way up until now, and wherever that may lead us in the future, I'm just glad to have you, whether near or far, in my network, and having to have the opportunity to work with you, work under you, and get to know you. Of course, there's more to know, but yes, I'm thankful and I'm grateful to have you in my circle.
And you can always call me. It doesn't matter. Like even if we go, because it's been a while since we, before we did this, it's been a while that since we have been interacting, because you were here and then you moved to Dallas, and so it had been a while. But I don't ever want you or people that's close to me. It doesn't matter if we don't talk every day. It doesn't matter if we don't talk regularly. When you call me, I'm there.
Yes, ma'am.
We pick up the phone. It's like we never didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just want you to remember that, because sometimes people are like that. They're like, oh man, I hadn't talked to them in so long, and I don't want to call because then they think that I'm just calling because I want something, blah blah. But no, that's just not. That's not me.
Yeah,
y'all know how that goes. That's not me. You need something. If I can do it for you, I'll do it.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely selfless. Thank you so much, Miss Shawn. Now you ain't made it till Miss Shawn and made you some etouffee. And I'm happy to say I didn't have the etouffee. So you know what that means.
Wow. Why is it that I got the Fox is still mad with me right now?
That's a threshold you have to meet.
You said you were gonna make us some etouffee. You said you were gonna make us some gumbo, Miss Shawn. What happened? They are still mad at me about that right now. I'm just
as
like,
they should be.
I don't know. I don't have time.
I feel you.
Busy coaching.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. Yeah, we gonna hook you up. Okay. So Quan needs t-shirts, and Maya needs etouffee and gumbo. Julian, what?
And Verde. Miss Shawn turned me on to that Verde wine.
And the Verde wine.
I don't know nothing about that now. I didn't had the etouffee when we used to go over there all the time during 2012. We was over there almost like every weekend, eating and having fun. So no, I don't need anything for you to just keep being you. That's it. I'm good. I'm good because you already know if I need something, I'll just call Doc and be like, "Hey Doc, I got something on the run past you real quick. What you think?" He'd be like, "Okay, what you need, Luke?" You know, that's as far as it goes. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Because of you, I have these.
You got the Shores,
and I got. You can't see my microphone, but it's over here.
Look at that.
Yeah, I got my microphone. I'm legit.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
But see, now you gotta get you a soundboard. Now you gotta get the whole kit and caboodle. Now
I think I got one.
Okay, you got one already, or you shopping for one?
I don't know. I got a little one. Tim bought me one. That was Christmas gift.
What was the I know what you're talking about. I can't.
It's a little baby one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because I was gonna get it. I think Rick has that. I can't think of the name of it though.
Yeah, because of you, I started doing voiceover work for some stuff at my job, my real job.
Well, look at that. Look at that. See, and see that there you go. Now you letting people. You just open up another thing. A lot of people don't know I'm a voice actor. I've been voice acting since.
Yes, you have, and I like a serious one too, like
2017, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I've been doing voice acting for a while. As a matter of fact, I just got done with a job like two days ago.
Wow. See? Yeah. Well, because my boss asked me, to make some videos using this app called Doodly. And so I started making the videos, and then
they write it for you, and you just I know.
And she was like, "Can you do the voiceovers too?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, there you go.
So we're moving into all different spaces, and wait until you see some of the stuff that the Storm is going to come out with this year. The media team, because y'all know I'm also the advisor for the media team, and I've brought Prof Jimenez is going to jump in and help me because I got too much going on. And so we have some ideas, some things that we're going to do is going to be really nice. So it's going to be fun.
Quick fun fact about the media team. The first original media team was myself and Hey Isa.
Yep.
So if you go back,
it was me and Ricky with our cell phones.
Well, but you're right, because it's some videos up on YouTube that's a little grainy. But I remember those. Yeah. But when because Hey Isa decided that she needed to get the camera, so she went to Doc, and then me and her got together, and then we started filming. And the first documentary that we did was the road to the Cotton Bowl.
Yep.
So if you go to YouTube and you look and you find a road to Cotton Bowl from PVAMU University, that was myself and Hey Isa putting that whole thing together, and I did the voice acting for that whole thing. We did a 3-series documentary, and now I look at the media team now at PV, and I'm like, wow, from what it started with to now, it's like 5 to 20 people with like 3 and 4 different cameras. I'm like, yo, and then y'all got drones. I'm like, oh my gosh.
We actually provided some footage for the show for March. So Ricky got credit, on the show and everything. So it has really blossomed. It is, you know, and you can't get away from it now. It is what it is. It's grown to what it is. You can't go back. You can't go back.
Keep moving forward.
Yep.
Man, Sean, this has been, see, now you got me reminiscing now, but this has been great. You know, Sean, you can always come in and just give us all these little nuggets and all that kind of stuff to just make us think about some great things. And you made my tear up a little bit. It made me have a couple of little tear daddies in there. So
not the tear daddy.
but you know, Sean, we appreciate you and we love you.
No problem. You guys have a good one. And Maya, I'll see you next Thursday?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Look, she's still calling me ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I got
to. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. All right.
Man, so yeah, so that's the crazy thing about me, right? Like, I don't tell everybody like all of my business and what I do and all. I keep stuff like super quiet unless I need to explain some things. But a lot of people don't know the different spaces that I've been into, and I've been blessed tremendously to have been in those spaces and get those experiences. A lot of people don't know I used to be on the radio. A lot of people don't know that. I was in radio for about 2 years back in 2009 to about 2010, 2011. So yeah, I've done a multitude of things, but I just don't really talk about them because I always say it's really not about me and all that. You know, I really believe it's really about everybody else around me and whatever way that I can be able to pour into other people and bless other people. So yeah, so those people who didn't know, yeah, myself and Heiza, which is I call her my daughter. She's my adopted daughter, which is Maya's line sister and my wife's line sister. We both helped to put that documentary together, and we were the earlier stages of the media team. Yes, Barbetta was at one point. She was a lot of doing the photography, a lot of that. Barbetta's super dope. Shout out to Barbetta. Yeah, so I had one more topic and I want to go ahead and get to this topic and get ready to wrap it up. So, and it's been a while since we did this, so let's go all the way back to the beginning. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversations about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Man, y'all go ahead and smash that like daddy, man. Get these likes up, man, for this episode, for all these people who have come in and been able to say great things, all the people in the chat who've been able to say great things. Let's go ahead and smash that like daddy. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the Passion Is Network and turn on notifications. This episode will be up on tomorrow on all your podcasting networks. Just type in Real Talk That Talk, except for on Apple Podcasts, where you type in Talk That Talk and it'll come up right there for you. All right, last topic. This is going to be super easy, super simple. Quan is out. Well, he's not out, but he had to tip out. But this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to put this in the chat, the response to this in the chat. Maya's going to give her thoughts. I'm going to give my thoughts. But this is also not only related to the music and band world, but this is also related to this show and this network. All right. So here's the question. What thoughts do you have for next year and or season? What thoughts do you have for next year and or season? Maya scratching.
Now I'm gonna say that you threw me under the bus because now you know, not threw me under the bus, but in terms of being ill prepared, unprepared.
Well, you good.
Now that's something that I'm supposed to think about.
Well, that's what God blessed us with brains and intelligence for, because I think that you have an amazing noggin up there, and you're gonna give me something that's amazing and profound.
Yes. Well, profound. Those are big shoes to fill. Let's see. What thoughts do I have for next year, next season? Next season in terms of this show next season or next band season?
Well, for me and you, next band season. But for the people in the chat, definitely next band season, but also for this show.
Next band season, I'd like us to cater more towards the field. I think we have mastered through and through stands, wearing that stand down, playing the highest, loudest, broadest, ruest, whatever. But I really want to see some creativity on the field, whether it is by drills, whether it's even our song choices, and even down to the dancers auxiliary and the usage of color guard or orchestrating the visual aspect of the field show. I just want to see something different because I feel like, yes, we're coming off of a transition. We're coming off of some interesting years, those COVID years. This is truly the first big poof, pop, we're back in all facets. So I really want to see people take this to the next level and really get into the bag, get into their creative bag and pull out some things that we haven't thought about or things that maybe we've tried and possibly didn't go right, when we tried in the past, and tweaking it and pulling it back out, because now is the time. Like, seize the moment. You can only go up from here because technically, I mean, for the past 2.5, 3 years, the band's world just hasn't been what we know it to be. And of course, we'll never be able to redo what has been done in the past, but I would like to see us open the door to the new phase, the new era of this particular culture and community. So that's what I want to see in terms of this season. I want to see colors. I want to see lights. I want to see shapes. I want to see sounds. I want to see integrations. And I want to see a possible different layout of the field show. Give me something new, not just fight song, like our standard A to Z for our field show. So I would like to see that. Of course, it would help if, the SWAC rules could be changed a little bit, but that may be asking for a bit much now. Now for this show, what do I want to see? Oh, child. That's a good question, because I think what has been so great about what we've been doing is the natural progression, the natural transition, and the natural trial and error, without kind of saying, okay, well, no, by this point we have to hit these marks. Or at least from my side. Of course, I'm sure that you have a different vision, goal, and outset, or outline rather, for the show, but just really being able to see week over week how the community is reinforcing the word and the verbiage that we're using, how things are kind of, starting to expand across platforms bigger than Facebook, bigger than YouTube, and out into the actual groundwork of these programs and facilitating those. I guess, I don't know, I want to take it a step further, maybe more guests. I would like for us we've ended a lot of shows with, we can definitely get farther into it. So I would definitely like to pick up on some of the conversations, not all of them. Some of them can RIP, be related to rest, and just let it be that. But I would like to see, I think, maybe some different venues, backgrounds, opportunities. Maybe that's us branching out to the world, like having those live interactions and things of that nature. But definitely, I think I want to see, not necessarily that we don't cater to the audience or are not listening to what they want, but also understanding or kind of getting a little bit more feedback and kind of pushing that into the show. But again, there's trials and error. There's pros and cons to that. I get it. More drumline shows. That's a good point. Drumline features or things of that nature that have kind of slipped down. And I know that can be controversial. Some people are for it. Some people are against it. But again, I think that just goes back into adding a different dynamic and aesthetic to the overall field show. So that was a good point. Yeah. What did I miss? I think I did next season. What was the other question? What was that?
That was it. You did good. You gave something that was massively profound. The one thing you didn't do, the one thing you didn't think you would do, you did very well.
You know when you let go and you let God.
There you go. Let him use you.
I shall and I will.
I will say this. As far as next year for me, are you talking about PV Texas Southern, Justin? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
It's the one and only.
I mean, there's a lot of Labor Day.
It's the one and only.
So there's a lot of Labor Day.
It's the one and only.
Well, it's the one and only for somebody who went to Prairie View, but I didn't go to Prairie View, so there's more than one. But no, for me, honestly, when it comes to next year and band and all that, honestly, I want to actually see people forming into their own. I really don't. I don't want to see you trying to be someone else and emulate and imitate someone else's sound. I'm going to die on this sword here. You're not going to out Southern. I'm just going to say it. I mean, and so at some point you have to go ahead and build an identity of your own. And I think that what is taking place in Black band culture specifically, but more or less the HBCU culture, is that we have been trying to, in totality, because not everybody's doing it, but I think that in mass we have been trying to be the same person and outdo that one entity when there's so many different facets that you can go into. I definitely want to say shout out to A&T, because A&T, regardless of whether you like them or not, whether you like their drills or not, whether the people who say that, and shout out to Lamont, by the way, Dr. Lamont Longhorn, but whether you say that because he's box, a lot of the stuff looks box-ish, whatever, you can say all of that stuff you want to, but they have carved a lane for themselves and they are okay staying in that lane. Shout out to FAMU. FAMU is going to be fam. Fam is going to fam. I was watching their high school performance, and shout out to those, I think it was 500, 600 kids. Shout out to them, because one of the things that I absolutely appreciate about fam, and I think that this is why I can comfortably say that I am going to retract my statement that I said about them never getting or may not get back to the size that they were. Just looking at the enrollment of those high school kids, I'm going to actually say that I'm going to pull back on that, and I'm going to say they have the possibility to do that. The reason why they have the possibility to do that is the same reason why Southern is going to Southern. Because at the end of the day, tradition is going to be tradition. And FAMU's tradition is not changing for nobody. And that's the reason why people are going to continue to gravitate to them, because they haven't changed. They ain't changed and they won't change. And it just is what it is. When I start looking at the mass, when I start looking at the mass, look at this whole thing, this whole HBCU thing, bands have changed so many hands that tradition in a lot of cases are lost in translation, and it makes students have a difficult time choosing some of these programs because they don't see consistency across the board. Shout out to and we were just talking about them. Shout out to PV, because even in the transition of Dr. Zachary from Prof. Edwards to Prof. McQueen, the one thing that I will say is, regardless of what happened, Prairie View is still Prairie View. The Storm is still the Storm. Is it Dr. Zachary's version of the Storm? Yes, absolutely. But there are so many remnants in there of the original Storm, so it doesn't make it difficult for people to be able to look at it and say, hey, I can connect with what they did in 2008 or 2007 or something to that degree, because there is that line of consistency. Shout out to my alma mater, Norfolk State University. Norfolk State is going to Norfolk State. At the end of the day, they ain't changing. And that's why you saw those years when Norfolk State was smaller, but then now they're starting to get back to that size because there is a consistency there. I think the problem that we have to continue to look at is we cannot continue to try to imitate and emulate someone else. We have to be in those seats And it's and real talk. And I sat back, and I want to say it was maybe 2 or 3 days ago. It's okay if you are a director right now and you go back and you look at the old footage and say, this is what they used to do. How can I incorporate that? Instead of saying, well, it's the new era, so we got it. No, you don't. You can look at certain things from the old and bring it to the new to connect those two eras while still making it your own. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's really what I want to see. I really want to see people and organizations and groups and bands, really start being different and identifying who they are. And I'm going all the way from musicians to dance lines and all the alike. Because every goddamn dance line can't coochie thrust every 2 seconds. I'm sorry. It really starts to become annoying. And I'm just being honest. I mean, everybody's not going to agree with me, and that's okay. But it becomes frustrating when every time they get down into the gush position and they hit the gush with the legs wide open, which for me as a father, I think that is just, we ain't gonna talk about that. But I just think that there are certain schools that do it, and that's okay. But every school cannot do it. Like, there has to be a difference. Shout out to Sean once again, because I appreciate the fact that the Black Foxes are going to be Black Fox, regardless of whether Hot Ice is different from what I remember when I was marching. Hot Ice is going Hot Ice. It is what it is, and there are so many other lines. We talked about Hampton's line when the young lady came out and hit that little solo daddy, and they kept doing it. Yeah, for me, it was really out of the box. It was weird. But guess what? For it was different, and it was something that was massively unexpected. And it wasn't them trying to imitate and emulate somebody else. They were doing something different. So I just respect that, and that's actually what I'm looking forward to in this upcoming band season. As far as the show is concerned, I got a lot of ideas for the show. I ain't gonna tell everybody what I got, the ideas I got for the show. Y'all just gonna have to sit back and just wait on that one. But there are a lot of ideas that I got coming up for the new season of the show. I just want all y'all to stick around. We got one more in here, Old Faithful, the one and only Justin. We got to bring him in. It wouldn't even feel right for us to have a show without him coming in and giving his 2 cents. So let's go ahead and bring him in. What's going on, bro?
What up, Doc? That one, I was driving, but I wanted to come when Miss Sean was here. Like, Maya started making me get all this sad. What's crazy is, like, when I was a freshman, I used to hear about, like, Miss Sean around Southern. You know how, like, the legendary people on the campus, and I think it was PV first game coming to Southern when I was on campus or whatever, and everybody was talking about how, like, she was over the Hot Ice, not she over the Black Foxes and things of that nature. And I just think that's pretty dope that she could, like, be that legendary, have effect on people who don't even know her. Like, so just like, I mean, I know she get her flowers from other people, but definitely from the dance world, she is, like, well respected. Like, whenever she walk in any room, I wanted to say that. The last thing I want to say, something I want to see bands do this season. I want to see bands have more fun. I think that, like, bands from the dance team to the flag girls to everybody, they get so caught up in these, band pages that critique them and things of that nature that sometimes they forget this is fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna mess up big. That's what my band members always told me. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it big. You know what I'm saying? Just critique it later. But, like, y'all so worried about what everybody's saying, have fun. That's what band's missing. You know what I'm saying, Luke? And, like, how you said, like, you can't outside of Southern. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if your band trying to, like, imitate another band that has nothing to do with you, but just do what your band director say and have fun doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that was my 2 cents on it. I just feel like sometimes bands will be so worried about what people in the comments gonna say that they'll mess up bigger than they actually was gonna do it first. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy the moment, because you don't get them years back. You know what I'm saying? Some people will go their whole college career trying to impress the critics and not really have fun in the moment. So that's what I wanted to say.
I can agree with you on that, but I'm gonna have a slight pushback on that. Only reason why I'm gonna have a slight pushback on that is because it's almost difficult to grow up in a social media world and not worry about what's being said on social media when you got a camera in your face. Because you got to remember, when I marched, it wasn't like that. If there was somebody recording, it was somebody recording either A, from the stands, or B, from the press box. They didn't have a drone, a press box shot, a wide shot, 2 close shots. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't happening like that. So it becomes difficult because of the fact that, you know, in this particular age, social media, as you know, is what wins, man.
Let me push back on that. At the same way you say how y'all didn't have it, Luke, these kids have it. So a camera to them, they've been playing with iPads since they was out the womb. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the secondhand nature to them. If your band like Southern, you have a media team, you mean to tell me you're not gonna have fun because you're on camera the whole time? Nah, that's just what y'all do. You know what I'm saying?
No, what you're saying is correct. Yes, they grew up with it, but they also grew up depending on that heart to validate whether they're important or not. And that is the reality of it. So you got to remember, man, I've been in the school system for a while, bro. So when you see it so much, even when it's not in the band world. Kids, young ladies, they will walk around in school taking a picture and constantly checking to make sure to see how many likes they have. So if that is the case, then you also have to realize that is happening in the band world as well. You know, these people, these young kids, when they go out there and perform, what people say about them on them forums and what people say about them, whatever clip that's put up, it matters to them. So they are constantly thinking about the fact that they don't want to make a mistake, because it's not about the crowd that they're performing in front of at that point. It's about the millions of people that they don't know that's going to watch this as soon as the video gets put up. And so I agree with you. I think it should be that students should have more fun performing, but I also think that it makes it difficult when they know without a shadow of a doubt there are cameras, there's cell phones, there's this, there's that, and it will be posted less than 3 seconds of them getting off the field, and they will be judged and scrutinized. I mean, think about it. I look at it like this: Showtime, Killer Kev, like all of y'all will post. Y'all will sometimes show up at the same event and post the same event, and what'll happen is people will go to each one of y'all clips and look at the comments to see what people are saying, and will judge whether they were good enough or not based on the percentage of people who are either agreeing with whether they did good or not. So I think my personal opinion is this, and I'm gonna say it like this. You can disagree, and you probably will, and I know why you will. My personal opinion is this. Honestly, all recording needs to stop and or needs to be for a monetary thing. Meaning, if you are going to record these programs, go back to what we used to do. Sell these DVDs. Sell them. Well, I don't know. People don't sell DVDs like that before. But I'm just saying, like, put them for a monetary value. So that way people are not only getting it in a space where they actually have to pay for it, because you know how we are. Everybody ain't gonna pay for it. They're gonna try to find a way to bootleg it. But in most cases, if you do it the right way, they ain't gonna bootleg it that easily. But that means there's a certain percentage of people who are seeing it, but then it also puts money in y'all pocket, and it gives you guys a availability to be able to give back to those programs. So that's what I've always felt. I've always felt that as the guys recording, I always feel like y'all should be making more money anyway, in the sense of y'all are out there, y'all giving y'all energy, you giving your time, and the only way that I feel you can do that is find a way to monetize what you're doing, not from a social media aspect, but from a way to be able to say, I recorded this, let me now get on Final Cut, let me cut it up, let me put it on a Blu-ray or whatever they got now, because I don't know, 4K, whatever, and then let me sell this, and a percentage of the proceeds will go to the 2 universities that perform. And now people are accessing it. And then what you could also do, and see, I'm out here giving all kinds of tips.
Anyway, I want to stop you right quick.
Oh, you got it.
Let me tell you, bro. Because it's gonna be. I don't want to be on it. You know what's crazy about that is, bro? Like some media guys, we talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I spend hella money on my equipment because I want the best. It's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
None of my cameras cost less than $2,000. None.
Oh, I know.
So look, you know what's crazy about that is though? Like if we was to do that, some of the videos that go viral don't even be from a good camera. It be from a cell phone. Everybody in the stadium have a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So like if you say stop that, people already getting videos going viral off cell phone footage. So
see, let me tell you how you do that. You have to find a way to get in with these university presidents and these athletic departments, and find a way to be able to have some type of connection and agreement and contract with them to easily say this. And then and obviously you're going to have to deal with copyright and stuff like that, but to come to them and easily say this is what we'll be able to do. We'll be able to give a percentage back to you. In order for us to do that, we have to make sure that there is absolutely no videography that's happening in the stands. Well, how would you do that? You do this at the beginning of every game, or at the beginning of every halftime or every game, you make sure that you make announcements that no video recording shall be done for the university band programs. And let me tell you how it should happen, because this is exactly what happens. And I have to use this as a category. This is exactly what happens in DCI. You will not find too many full DCI shows. Why? Because the companies will go in and they will find these DCI shows and they will pull them down, because you got to go to Flow Marching in order to be able to purchase that live video. That's the only way that you really gonna. DCI at the end of the year sells a full DVD of the full year.
You really think people gonna listen like at a football game that they pay their money for? They can't pull their cell phone out.
Listen,
I'm not saying y'all did not bad. I'm just telling you the likeliness of someone. Listen, if I'm at a football game, you're not about to tell me I can't put my phone out and record anything. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I'm recording plays, I'm recording like taking selfies or something like that. You know how hard it is to get a whole stadium of people at a Magic City Clash not to pull their cell phone out for halftime show?
But listen, I get what you're saying, but I will say this. Dr. Sanford said it best. You got to train your people, man. At the end of the day, you've got to train the culture. The reason why it is difficult for us as a culture to be able to move forward successfully, because we always talk about what can't be done instead of taking the steps to make it happen. You've got to take the step to make it happen, and you've got to get people behind you that's going to support it. Once you do that and the ball is rolling, yeah, it's going to be difficult, but hell, if it's difficult, it's difficult. Ain't nothing worth having easy. So at the end of the day, if that's something that you really want to get into, you're going to have to be able to take that hit and say, hey, this is what we got to stand on. Yeah, I understand you want to be able to record. That's fair. But this is the rule. It's just like band. The NCAA rules have been set in place for years. There have been rules in place that we didn't follow. And then eventually the NCAA said, this is what we're doing. You can't play it this time. This is what will happen. And some people tried to go ahead and buck the system. And some teams got penalized.
Right.
So at some point, people had to realize, all right, well, we can't do this. No, we can only play from this time to this time. Or now fifth quarter is the biggest thing that we can do, because we have to now follow these rules. You got to say to yourself, hey, I'm willing to take that hit for a bigger purpose. I mean, it just is what it is. You know, I like I said, I understand what you're saying, But I know being an older person, and I don't know, I don't feel like
You're not
I'm
old, man.
but
Old.
I was saying I'm being an older person,
Right.
coming up in an era where we didn't have these things. Band was more enjoyable because remember this: if you weren't there to catch it, you just missed it, and you had to get it from some random dude who had the VHS, and you had to get that during the summer. Like that was the only way that you were able to catch these really live situations, and that's what made people enjoy band, because when you finally got the chance to go to see Southern, you were anticipating seeing what everybody was talking about, not the fact that I could pull it up on YouTube 5 minutes after they perform, because then when you go see them, it's like, oh, okay, all right, I've seen this before. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying that I get that we both agree about a few things. In this social media day and age, Doc, like, what about the people who are the kids who only know about these schools because of what they see online, who can't afford to go to these games? As well as, you mean to tell me, like, at a big game, telling everybody to put their phone up? Doc, it sounds nice, but like, man, at a football game, you know what about people who are not gonna listen? So you gonna like fine them and penalize them so they can't buy a ticket to come support the HBC no more?
I'm gonna tell you this. Moses didn't believe anything the guy was saying until he saw that burning bush. When that burning bush came down, he was still like, all right, I'm gonna listen. I'm a little, but I'm gonna listen anyway. Simple as that. You're gonna have to, not if you don't want to do it, somebody's gonna do it. But I'm just saying, at some point, you're gonna have to step out on faith and say, I think this is the best way to go, and this is the right way to go. You know, and like I said, it's up to whatever you want to do. It's your choice. But I just know that for me, band was more enjoyable when I anticipated seeing someone that I had heard about. Real talk, I never saw Southern live. Like, I never in my life saw Southern perform live until I went to the Bayou Classic in 2005. Mind you, I had known about Southern since 97. I never saw them perform live until 2005. So that tells you that the word of mouth is just as important as seeing a YouTube video. The problem is we've just been indoctrinated into this system of seeing this YouTube video. So that's what we're used to.
Right.
But I think that there can be different ways of doing that. Even if you just put out a small, like promo clip and say, if you want to see this full battle, purchase this video. It's different than putting up the whole video. There are ways around it, man. You've got to, you've got to be able to step out on faith, and you've got to be able to trust.
Listen, I'm not saying nothing not impossible, Luke. I'm just knowing, like, that's a hell of a thing to do in this day and age. Especially, like, I can't, like, you can try, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like at a big game like that, to tell everybody to put their stuff up, and there's people not gonna listen. Somebody being rebellious, like, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. You know what I'm saying? And you can start something like that, like a pep rally or something, or like a small battle of the band, something like that. Maybe like that. You know, or like an event like DCI. DCI, I've never been to one before, but it could be like, I don't know, Luke. It will be hard, but I would like to see it happen, and to be like, Luke, you said that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but you really just spearheaded it. You just said it. Start small. Nobody said it got to be at the Bayou Classic this year, but you can start small. Start at a little high school joint and see how it works. Start one of the small university battle of the bands and see if it works. You can start somewhere. But one of the reason why, and I'm blessed to be able to say this, the reason why this right now, the conversation that we're having right now is possible, is because one person at my church said this: bro, stop questioning it and just start it.
I was talking to him about starting this. I said, man, I got this idea. It's one of the things I want to do, just coming in and having a conversation. He was like, well, why you ain't start yet? Because, man, I just don't know if people are really going to take to it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, bruh, just start it. Just turn your camera on and start it. And people will come. People will trust. People are gonna only gravitate to what they gravitate to, and if they don't, it is what it is. You're not gonna get everybody, but those who will trust and follow what you do, trust me, they gonna come. There's there's Sprite and there's Mountain Dew. There's Pepsi and Coke. There's a car that runs on gas, and then there's a Tesla. So there are different options, man. Everybody's not gonna trust it, but you got to start somewhere. Solar panels. Think about it. We all know to just turn the electricity on and go pay some people to read the meter. But somebody said, hey man, let's put these little glass joints on top of somebody's roof, and let's get the sun to integrate into somebody's house so we can get a cheaper price. And somebody said, well, shoot, I'll try it. And now it's a thing. You gotta start somewhere, man. So that's my 2 cents. I don't know everything, but I try to give out as much.
I feel logic. I really do. Every one of them are like, I wonder, because when you say that, it's like it's so many like possibilities that can come. Like, because I always had a crazy idea, and my crazy idea didn't come to fruition until like I actually put some time into it. I just tried it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I ain't saying you're wrong, but that'd be crazy. Like, dang, okay, everybody respect this time. So I ain't saying you're wrong, Luke. I'm just saying, like, I can definitely see it, Doc. I can definitely see it.
Okay. Hey, look, my job is to plant the seed. God has blessed me with that ability to be able to try to plant seeds with people, and that's all I try to do. But Quan wants to know, are you coming to the joint, the DCI joint?
Yes, I'll be in town. What's tomorrow? I'm coming to town Friday. So yeah, on the 24th. Well, now I don't know what I'm doing now. Like, so I'll hit Quan up because Luke told me about he said, of course you can't record the show, but he wanted me to shoot something outside.
Shoot the lots. So I don't know. You're going to the Houston show?
The University of Houston on the Saturday morning. So I don't know where I'll pay my ticket at. I don't know. I'm just going there.
Hello, because I don't know if that's on the schedule. I don't think that's on the schedule. Said University of Houston Saturday morning.
That's what Rick told me. He says at University of Houston on the 20th on Saturday.
21st. Because I don't think so, man. Because Denton and Austin is tomorrow. 22nd is Houston, and then San Antonio is, I think, the 24th.
So the 22nd is Friday?
The 22nd is Friday. Yeah, the 22nd.
Friday. All right, I can go Friday. It's not a problem. I'm leaving. So University of Houston, right?
It's not a University of Houston unless they changed it.
Rick.
Let me see. Matter of fact, I'll shoot you the information.
Bet.
I'll get you the information. So, but yeah. So yeah, I'll get you that to you. But yeah, you can record the lot. So the day, just to give you kind of a heads up, the show in Houston starts at blah blah blah. What's the time on here? So I want to make sure I give you the right. It starts at 8:20, but you want to try to be there maybe about 2 hours before, because that's when the lot start. That's when everybody comes in. They start doing their warm-ups and stuff like that. And that's
the lots in the stadium.
No, the lots are outside the stadium.
Gotcha.
The lots are outside the stadium, so you want to be there for those lots. Get that, see some of those brass warm-ups, and all that kind of stuff. So that's really what the lot is. They're preparing for their show by doing warm-ups, but it's a lot that happens in them lots, bro. So you want to check that out. And then you asked me, was I going to the Labor Day Classic? I had no plans to. Do I need to?
I mean, from what I ain't missing it from what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this one. I went last year. I don't really care for games at the TSU Stadium. I just felt like the echo is terrible.
It's phony. It's a soccer stadium. It's trash.
Yeah, oh yeah, very much so. I do, but I'm gonna be at this one. Like, man, bruh. Only because I just know like some of the kids that's going to TSU this year, and just like the projection, I think that's gonna. Oh, another thing too, they not performing at National Battle of the Bands, so this is gonna be their first time popping out. So it's gonna get a little. Yeah, I ain't missing it. So I'm gonna definitely be there.
I don't know. I don't know because I already got the trip for the National Battle of the Bands. I probably can't make it twice. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you're in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Dallas. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So but we'll see. We'll see what my schedule looks like. It might happen.
Yeah, you might as well just come and support, man. Yeah.
It might happen. I'm not saying we're 50-50 on it. There we go. 100% National Battle of the Bands, 50-50 on Labor Day Classic. That's a
100% Norfolk Homecoming.
100% Norfolk Homecoming.
Definitely. I'm be there too.
All right. Well, there it is, man. I appreciate you, Justin, man. 100% all the time. You already know your family over here, brother.
All right, man. How that y'all? Nice talking to y'all.
All right, bro.
All right.
All right, Maya. You was over there you was like, look, I don't know nothing about what they talking about. I'm just going to.
No, I was going through a series of things because I was thinking about like how would that actually happen. I was with you, and I started thinking about started reminiscing a little bit too. I had to look up a couple of videos that I remember watching prior to me even getting the TV. What made me want to go? So I was having a little moment.
So you was listening and you was reminiscing.
Both.
Very good.
Multitasking.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. No, I think anything is possible. If you have an idea, if you have a vision, just go for it.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's crazy that you said that, because even when you were saying, your vision with this particular show and, the dude that you were talking about at church, I was like, because you preach into the choir, and it's so crazy that how things will come up, like how like God will reinforce things into your life. Because I was just now thinking about content, right? Getting back into content creation, or really trying to figure out my brand as an individual and pushing that out and kind of just really making that mark for myself and what that looks like. But also knowing that the girl in my head also is like, well, I don't know. Like, we don't even really know what we want to do. And for you to say that, and it just came off the cuss, it's like, please, not today. Not today. I do not want a lesson today, please.
Well, first of all, you already know I will never shy from trying to give you as much advice as possible.
Yes.
But I will always say that God uses me as a vessel. That's all I am, as a vessel, and be able to try to minister to as many people as I possibly can. I ain't trying to make this a very preachy day, but the word says that I should be able to minister to people, and I should do it with courage, and I am going to do that. So I believe in truly trying to do my best to pour into people, and try it, girl. I talk to you about your content all the time. Hey, look, make it happen. And if you fail forward. It is what it is. You fail, pick yourself up, reinvent it, put it back together. You learn from it, keep going. So we ain't gonna have the private conversations we be having out in open. We don't need that. All right, man. But let's go ahead and get ready to shut it down, close it out. This has been amazing. So the reality of everything is, we will not be back with you again. My ESPN just went off. We will not be back with you again until the 24th. All right. We will not be back with you guys again until the 24th. So that is the week before the National Battle. Well, that is the Wednesday before the National Battle of the Bands. So that's when we will be back. I know that I am going to miss this time. But it is going to be much needed time for me to be able to get out the rest of the content that we have from Talk That Talk, as well as the old Secondary Sessions videos. Secondary Session is making a comeback. We just are doing some replanning and some things on that end. The feature will still be running bi-weekly. Diary of a Lady Band Director will still be running. Also, man, I will say this. if you feel like you're ready to step out there and you have something that you want to say, feel free to contact me at any time. passionis1919 at gmail.com. Once again, passionis1919 at gmail.com. And we will have that discussion. I don't mind having a conversation with you. As far as Talk That Talk is concerned, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to see in the future, you can actually email us at realtalkthattalk. I was about to say .com. I'm about to give out the website at realtalkthattalk@gmail.com. Y'all can email us anytime, realtalkthattalk@gmail.com. Will we have episodes on Wednesday? No, not live episodes. So if there are any episodes that you have missed in the past, if you're new to the channel, we will be running some old episodes. We'll probably start with the first episode since it was so bad. But we'll be running some old episodes during those times, during our 7:15 slots. We will not have any live episodes until the 24th. You are free to come in and watch those old episodes, comment in them if you want to. Make sure you always I'm going to tell you that, hit that like button. Always smash that like daddy, and make sure you subscribe to the Passioneers Network. All right, before we get out, one more thing. Well, no, go ahead, Maya. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts, any comments, anything you got for the culture?
I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the future. I think it was definitely necessary to stop, take a minute, take a break, and reinforce the why. To kind of pull apart what we're doing, what we're on the brink of, what we've done in the past, but then also give our flowers out, right? To be able to say like thank you, or just all in all. So everybody has given their flowers. And again, I'm going to end it with giving you yours. Thank you, thank you, thank you for thinking about this, for having the willingness and having the courage to even bring this about, but continuing with it, growing with it, kind of transitioning with it. But also kind of being that beacon of light that we all need, whether we know that we need it or that we don't. But really staying true to that. And you know what? You have a good way of bringing good things out of people. Even all the way back to my time at PV, right? So when there was something that there were areas of opportunity, you always had the right approach of how to make an impact, but do it in a way in which it's enlightening, in which you feel that you can still come up, as opposed to wow, man, we'll forget this, whatever. And it's that may be part of your purpose. That may be part of the reason why you're able to implement these communities and be able to fulfill them to what they are, and kind of grow these little sprouts, grow these little people into helping them become the best versions of yourself. But that's just you being you. So again, I appreciate you for even being able to kind of say hey, I know this person. That dude right there, he got a whole repertoire behind him. He got a resume behind him, but I know him as a person. And you have helped me within this past year, and then all the way dating back to when I was in school, in many, many ways. And we can go on and on and on. So thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, that was my tear that just came out of my eye. No, I like I said, I just try to be the best I can, and trying to pour it into as many people as I possibly can. I always tell people that, even just me being a teacher, I do it just to try to inspire and pour into kids and people. That's all I do it for. So yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And honestly, before we get out of here, and I do my final sign off before we get out of here for the 24th, there's something I did not say that needs to be said. Shout out to my brother Rick. The original idea for this show was actually a show that was only supposed to be straight to podcast. It was supposed to be called Yes or Mess, and it was supposed to be me and Rick. And he was, that idea was what sprang forward this. And so, but Rick has been the guy. Everybody knows Rick everybody knows when he comes in, he's going to be who he is. He's going to say what he's going to say. He's going to say what he feels, but he's going to do it with love, and he's going to do it with all the knowledge he can to back it up, except for when he tries to lie and say some stuff that I said that I really didn't say or did that I really didn't do. But shout out to Rick. He could not make today because Tear Daddy. He could not make today because he had rehearsal at 6 o'clock today. Because it's hot as hell, literally here in Texas. I think we got up to 110 today in the DFW area. So he had to wait till it kind of cooled off, and even at 6 o'clock, it was still like 110. So and then he will be performing tomorrow in Denton, so I'm gonna go see him. But shout out to him, my brother forever, the original Smiths brothers. I don't know what else to say. If you saw when we were at PV, if you saw him, you saw me. Yeah, and real talk, when we talk about first meeting people and being intimidated, I was actually very intimidated by Rick when I first met him because I was a rookie / crab, whatever everybody has something different. I was a rookie in band, and as a rookie, my rookie brothers were locked up with our horns in our hand, and I see this. And Rick was a lot smaller than what he was now because he had just got offline for Omega. So understand, I'm coming from a SWAT culture, so I'm thinking, we about to get thrashed. So we sitting up there locked up, and I see this stocky kind of Q walking up with an Omega shirt, and then he has his Q brand sitting out, and he's looking at us, and I'm like, oh shoot, we about to get it now, bro. And that perception of him versus who he truly is two totally different people, man. So shout out to my brother Rick. Shout out to Mario. Mario was with us from the beginning. He had to take a step back, and I understood why he took a step back. And I supported him, and I still support him. That is my brother. But so much insight that he gave on the show from the beginning to his last show, because I think his last show was the Greek show that he did. But so much insight from Mario. But he's doing great things up there in New Jersey. If y'all haven't done so already, man, y'all go follow him on Instagram, Mario Banks Music. He is a gigging machine. Like if you've never seen his page, he is gigging every 3 seconds, and he's teaching in between all of that time. So shout out to my brother Mario. He's still part of the Talk That Talk culture. He's just behind the scenes now. He's not on the panel with us. And then finally, shout out to Portia. There's not enough I can say about Portia. I've known Portia since she was a freshman, and when she talks about the Portia she used to be versus the Portia she is now, she is absolutely 100% right. I think that she is at the Zeta convention right now. So, I'm sorry, Zeta.
Pronounce that T now.
I do apologize. Yeah. So I think she is at the convention right now. So I understood why she wasn't able, but shout out to Portia. 100% she will speak her mind and say what she needs to say, without remorse, without holding back. And when I go back and look at them clips, the faces she makes and some of them comments is just telling, and it's very funny to watch. But super dope addition to the show. I love the fact that I have Maya and Portia on the show, because I told Rick this, I told my wife this, I wanted female voices on the show. I didn't want to add another male voice to the show. I wanted a female voice, and I wanted 2 female voices. And Portia, along with Maya, has just been amazing. And so I just wanted to make sure that we shouted them out before we go on this break, because we didn't really mention them today. And I keep seeing Portia for president in the comments every now and then. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I gave love to all 3 of them because they're super dope. Other than that, now I truly only have one more thing. If you did not or have not yet stopped by the store, you can go to realtalkthattalk.com and pick up all of your merchandise from there. We still got I think we still have the Rap Daddy shirts in there, but if we don't, pick up your Talk That Talk shirt. You can pick that up. You can also pick up your for the new marching season, the Tune shirts. So go ahead and pick up your Tune shirts. Appreciate you, Scarfinger. So you could pick up those shirts as well, man. And also for National Battle of the Bands, keep tuned in and look for notifications. I'm going to put something up about the meetup. So for all of you guys who are going to make to the National Battle of the Bands, we will have a meetup. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, man, I really don't have anything else. This has been super dope. We have made it to 1 year. When we come back on the 24th, that will be the start of season 2 and a lot of new things ahead, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been awesome. We will see you guys on the 24th.
Bye.